In a charming coastal village nestled between rolling hills and the sparkling ocean, there was an old lighthouse that had stood for centuries. The lighthouse keeper, a wise old man named Tobias, had told many tales of the sea and its wonders, but one tale was the most captivating of all, the legend of the sea dragon and its magical song. According to the legend, the sea dragon, a majestic creature with shimmering scales and a voice that could calm storms, lived deep in the ocean. It was said that the dragon's song had the power to heal and bring peace to the troubled sea. However, as years passed, the sea dragon's song had faded, and the ocean had become increasingly stormy and wild. One day, a young girl named Isla, known for her love of the sea and her enchanting voice, heard Tobias's tale of the sea dragon. Determined to restore peace to the ocean, she decided to embark on a quest to find the sea dragon and awaken its magical song. Armed with a small satchel of provisions, a compass, and a book of sea lore that Tobias had gifted her, Isla set out on a boat. The compass guided her toward a hidden island, said to be where the sea dragon had last been seen. As Isla approached the island, a thick mist enveloped her boat. The mist parted to reveal a hidden cove with an entrance to an underwater grotto. Gathering her courage, Isla dove into the water and swam through the grotto's entrance. The underwater world was filled with vibrant coral and glowing fish that seemed to light her way. At the heart of the grotto, Isla found a grand chamber with walls made of sparkling seashells and a large, ornate shell-shaped throne. Seated on the throne was the sea dragon, its scales glistening like moonlight on the ocean. The dragon's eyes were closed, and it appeared to be in a deep slumber. Isla approached the dragon with a mix of awe and trepidation. As she neared, she began to sing a gentle, soothing melody, one she had composed from her heart, inspired by the sea and its beauty. Her voice filled the chamber with a soft, comforting sound, blending with the gentle currents of the ocean. Slowly, the sea dragon's eyes fluttered open, and it regarded Isla with a serene gaze. The dragon's deep, rumbling voice spoke, "Your song has awakened me, young one. Why have you come to this sacred place?" Isla explained her quest, revealing her desire to restore peace to the ocean and bring back the sea dragon's magical song. She sang her melody once more, hoping to inspire the dragon. The sea dragon listened intently, and as Isla's song reached its climax, the dragon began to hum along. The hum grew into a full, resonant song that reverberated through the water, sending ripples of light and sound throughout the grotto. The dragon's song was powerful and enchanting, and its melody seemed to heal the ocean's wounds. The stormy waters calmed, and the sea became tranquil and clear. The dragon's song echoed through the underwater realm, bringing harmony and balance back to the ocean. As the song came to an end, the sea dragon thanked Isla with a warm, grateful smile. "Your bravery and your song have restored my voice and brought peace to the ocean. As a token of my gratitude, I gift you a pearl from the heart of the sea. This pearl holds a fragment of my song and will guide you in times of need." The sea dragon gently placed a luminous pearl into Isla's hands. The pearl radiated a soft, comforting light, and Isla felt a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. Isla returned to her village, where the ocean's newfound calm was celebrated with joy. The villagers marveled at the tranquility of the sea and the harmony it brought to their lives. Isla shared her adventure and the sea dragon's gift, and her story became a cherished tale among the villagers. The pearl was placed in a special place in the village, serving as a reminder of the magical song of the sea dragon and the bravery of a young girl who believed in the power of harmony and peace. And so, the legend of the sea dragon and its song continued to inspire all who heard it, a timeless reminder that even the wildest storms could be calmed by the gentle power of a pure heart and a song from the soul. The end. Once upon a time, in a serene land where emerald forests stretched as far as the eye could see, there was a mystical forest known as the Forest of Echoes. The forest was famous for its enchanting melodies, believed to be played by an ancient harp hidden deep within its heart. This harp was said to possess the power to bring harmony and joy to the land. In a quaint village nestled at the forest's edge, lived a kind and curious girl named Alara. She had grown up hearing tales of the magical harp and dreamed of one day hearing its melodies herself. One autumn morning, the village was struck by a misfortune. the once lively river that flowed through their land dried up, and the crops began to wilt. The village elder, wise and old, declared that the only way to restore prosperity was to find the enchanted harp and play its melodies once more. Ilara, determined to help her village, decided to embark on a quest to find the enchanted harp. Armed with a small satchel of provisions and her unwavering spirit, she entered the Forest of Echoes. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Ilara's journey took her to the Whispering Glade, a beautiful meadow where the wind carried the soft voices of the forest's inhabitants. As she wandered through the glade, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. To continue through the Whispering Glade, the owl said in a voice as smooth as silk, "You must solve this riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Ilara thought for a moment and replied, "A joke." The owl's eyes twinkled with approval, and it flapped its wings, revealing a hidden path through the meadow. Follow this path, and it will lead you to the next challenge. The second challenge, the River of Reflections. Ilara followed the path to the River of Reflections, a tranquil river with crystal clear waters that mirrored the sky and the towering trees. The river was guarded by a majestic swan with feathers that glistened like moonlight. To cross the River of Reflections, the swan said gracefully, "You must answer this question. What has keys but can't open locks, has space but no room, and you can play it but not touch it?" Ilara pondered the question and answered, "A piano." The swan's feathers glowed warmly, and it created a shimmering bridge of light across the river. Ilara crossed the river with a renewed sense of determination. The third challenge, the Cavern of Echoes. On the other side of the river, Ilara discovered the Cavern of Echoes, a grand cave filled with glowing crystals that cast mesmerizing patterns of light. At the entrance of the cavern stood an ancient door adorned with celestial symbols. A gentle voice echoed from within the cave, "To open this door and find the enchanted harp, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure intention." Ilara took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My deepest wish is to find the enchanted harp and bring its melodies back to my village, so that our land may be restored and filled with joy." The cavern's walls shimmered with a soft, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing the enchanted harp resting on a pedestal in the center of the cave. Its strings shimmered with an ethereal glow. The revelation, restoring the melody. With the enchanted harp in hand, Ilara returned to her village. As she played the harp strings, a beautiful melody filled the air, weaving through the village like a gentle breeze. The sound of the harp restored the river's flow, revitalized the crops, and brought a sense of harmony and joy to the land. The villagers gathered in awe as their once dry fields turned green, and the river sparkled with fresh water. The village elder praised Ilara for her bravery and selflessness, and the tale of her quest became a beloved story in the village. The enchanted harp continued to play its melodies, a symbol of hope and the power of determination. Under the magical tunes of the harp, the village thrived, and the Forest of Echoes once again sang with joy. And so, the village lived in harmony and happiness, forever grateful for the courageous girl who had restored their land with the music of the enchanted harp. In a serene village nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there was a magical grove known only to a few. This grove, called the Moonlit Grove, was famous for its enchanting glow and the legend of its hidden treasure, a magical moonstone that could grant a single wish. In this village lived a brave little fox named Finn. Though small in size, Finn had a heart full of courage and a keen sense of adventure. He often heard the stories about the Moonlit Grove and dreamed of finding the magical moonstone to help his village. One crisp autumn evening, as the full moon rose and bathed the world in silver light, Finn decided it was time to embark on his adventure. With a small satchel filled with essentials, he set out toward the Moonlit Grove, guided by the shimmering moonlight. The path to the grove was winding and full of shadows, but Finn was determined. As he walked, the moonlight revealed the path ahead, and he could hear the soft rustling of leaves and the distant, gentle hum of the grove's magic. After some time, Finn reached the edge of the Moonlit Grove. The grove was as magical as the tales described, trees with silver leaves, flowers that glowed like stars, and a gentle, melodic breeze that whispered secrets of the night. In the center of the grove stood a grand, ancient oak tree. Its trunk was twisted and gnarled, and its branches reached high into the night sky. At the base of the tree, a small, glimmering object caught Finn's eye. It was a golden key. Finn approached the key and found a scroll beside it. Unrolling the scroll, he read the following riddle: "Brave heart, if you seek the stone, find the keeper of secrets unknown. In the center where the moonlight's warm, the guardian waits to keep you from harm." Finn pondered the riddle and looked around. The moonlight seemed to warm a particular spot in the grove, where a small, silver fountain bubbled gently. He made his way to the fountain, where a wise old owl perched on a nearby branch. "Greetings, little fox," the owl said in a voice as soft as the breeze. "I am Olwen, the guardian of the moonlit grove. To find the moonstone, you must prove your bravery and wisdom." Finn nodded eagerly. "What must I do?" Olwen explained that the moonstone was hidden within a magical cave at the heart of the grove, but to enter, Finn had to solve 3 riddles. Only then would the path to the cave be revealed. The first riddle was, "By day, I'm not here, but come at night, I sparkle and twinkle, a beautiful sight. I'm not a star, but I'm close to one, find me, and your journey has just begun." Finn thought for a moment and realized that the answer was the moon. He looked up, and the moon's light seemed to brighten, revealing a hidden path that led deeper into the grove. The second riddle came from Olwen: "I have a heart that does not beat, yet I keep time and am very neat. With hands that point but do not hold, find me to uncover the next clue told." Finn immediately thought of a clock. He searched around the grove and found an ancient sundial hidden among the flowers. At its base, he found a small keyhole, and he used the golden key from earlier to open a hidden compartment containing the next clue. The final riddle was, "In the heart of the grove where shadows dance, you'll find a light that gives you a chance. When you're lost in darkness, look for the glow, the path to the moonstone it will show." Finn made his way to the center of the grove, where the moonlight was brightest. There, he saw a beautiful, glowing orb hovering above a small pedestal. As he touched the orb, the pedestal slid open to reveal a hidden passage. With excitement, Finn ventured into the passage, which led to a small, sparkling cave. At its center was the magical moonstone, glowing softly and radiating warmth. Finn carefully picked up the moonstone, and as he did, he felt a sense of peace and joy. Returning to the village, Finn was greeted as a hero. The moonstone's magic filled the village with happiness and prosperity. Finn used his wish to ensure that his village would always have enough food and that everyone would be safe and content. From then on, Finn was celebrated not only for his bravery but also for his kind heart. The moonlit grove remained a place of wonder, and Finn's adventure became a cherished tale that inspired others to seek their own dreams with courage and hope. And so, the brave little fox and his village lived happily ever after, under the watchful glow of the magical moonstone. The end. In a peaceful kingdom where lush meadows met ancient forests, there was a hidden lake known only to a few. This was the Whispering Lake, renowned for its magical waters that could grant wisdom to those who listened closely to its murmurs. The lake was surrounded by towering willows and guarded by a kindly old turtle named Thistle, who had lived by its shores for as long as anyone could remember. In a nearby village, there lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his curious nature and kind heart. He had always been fascinated by the stories of the Whispering Lake and dreamed of one day seeking its counsel. His village had recently faced a series of troubles. Crops had failed, the river had run dry, and a mysterious sickness had spread among the villagers. Desperate to help, Finn decided that he would venture to the Whispering Lake to seek its wisdom. One bright morning, Finn set off with a satchel of supplies and a heart full of hope. He followed the old forest path, which twisted and turned through the trees, until he finally reached the edge of the lake. The water shimmered under the sunlight, and the soft murmur of the lake was like a gentle lullaby. As Finn approached, Thistle the turtle slowly emerged from behind a willow tree. His wise eyes twinkled as he greeted Finn. "Welcome, young seeker," Thistle said in a voice as old as the forest. "What brings you to the Whispering Lake?" Finn explained his village's plight and his desire to find a way to help them. Thistle nodded thoughtfully and then said, "To receive the wisdom of the lake, you must first listen carefully to its whispers. The answers you seek may not come easily." Finn sat down by the lake's edge and closed his eyes, focusing on the gentle sounds of the water. He listened to the whispers of the lake, but at first, they seemed like mere ripples and rustling leaves. He was beginning to lose hope when suddenly, he heard a clear, distinct voice. "Seek the heart of the forest," the lake whispered. "There you will find what you need." Finn's heart raced with excitement. He thanked Thistle and set off toward the heart of the forest, guided by the lake's mysterious message. The journey was long and arduous, but Finn was determined. He navigated through thick underbrush and climbed over fallen trees, driven by the hope of finding the heart of the forest. After a day of travel, Finn arrived at a clearing bathed in golden light. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient tree with a trunk as wide as a house and branches that seemed to touch the sky. At the base of the tree was a hollow filled with a soft, glowing light. As Finn approached the hollow, a voice spoke from within the tree. "You have sought me out with a pure heart. What do you ask of the heart of the forest?" Finn spoke earnestly. "My village is suffering. Crops are failing, the river is dry, and people are ill. How can I help them?" The tree's voice was gentle yet powerful. "The heart of the forest holds the secret to renewal. To restore your village, you must give something of great value to you." Finn thought about the things he cherished most. He realized that it was not material possessions he could part with, but something more precious, his own dreams and hopes for the future. With a heavy heart, he made his decision. He took off his pendant, a gift from his late grandmother, and placed it in the hollow of the tree. The light within the hollow grew brighter, and the tree spoke again. "Your selfless act of giving will restore balance to your village. But remember, true renewal comes from the kindness and unity of those who live there." Finn thanked the heart of the forest and made his way back to his village, tired but hopeful. When he arrived, he was astonished to find that the crops had begun to flourish, the river had returned to its full flow, and the villagers were recovering from their illness. The magic of the heart of the forest had indeed worked wonders. The villagers celebrated with great joy, and Finn shared the tale of his journey and the lessons he had learned. They came together, working as one to ensure that their newfound prosperity would be maintained through cooperation and kindness. Finn's selfless act and the wisdom of the Whispering Lake had saved his village. And though he never returned to the heart of the forest, the spirit of its magic lived on in the hearts of all who had been touched by it. The Whispering Lake continued to murmur its secrets, but now its whispers were a source of hope and inspiration for all who listened. The end. Once upon a time, in a faraway land surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests, there was a small village named Starhaven. Starhaven was renowned for its stunning night skies, where stars seemed to twinkle like diamonds and cast a gentle glow over the village. The village's most cherished treasure was a magical lantern known as the Lantern of the Lost Stars, which was said to capture the light of the stars and grant wishes. Legend had it that the lantern's light had dimmed because one of the stars it had captured had gone missing. The village's prosperity and the brilliance of its night skies were fading as a result. The villagers were worried, and despite their efforts, no one knew how to restore the lantern's magic. One evening, a brave young girl named Mira, who loved the stars and the stories about the lantern, decided to help her village. She had grown up listening to tales of the lantern and its magic, and she felt a deep connection to it. Mira resolved to embark on a quest to find the missing star and restore the lantern's light. Equipped with a sturdy staff, a map she had drawn from old stories, and a heart full of determination, Mira set out towards the great forest, where it was said that magical creatures dwelled and where the missing star might be found. As Mira journeyed through the forest, she encountered a wise old fox named Orion. Orion was known for his knowledge of the forest's secrets. "Greetings, young traveler," Orion said. "I hear you seek the missing star. To find it, you must first seek the guidance of the 3 guardians of the forest." Mira thanked Orion and continued her journey. Her first encounter was with a graceful deer named Leora, who guarded a shimmering grove filled with moonlight. Leora told Mira that to gain her assistance, she must solve a riddle. Listen carefully, Leora said. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Mira thought deeply and answered, a map. Leora nodded in approval and guided Mira to the second guardian, a wise old owl named Celeste who resided in the tallest tree of the forest. Celeste's task was to test Mira's kindness. The forest creatures are in need, Celeste said. Help them by gathering the magical herbs that have been scattered by a recent storm. Only then will I help you. Mira spent the day collecting the herbs and soothing the forest creatures. Once she had completed the task, Celeste rewarded her with a sparkling crystal that would light her way. Finally, Mira reached the third guardian, a majestic unicorn named Astra who lived by a crystal-clear lake. Astra's task was to test Mira's bravery. Beyond this lake lies the Cave of Echoes, Astra said. Inside the cave, you must find the Heartstone, a gem that holds the essence of the missing star. But beware, the cave is dark and full of illusions. Mira crossed the lake and entered the Cave of Echoes. Inside, she faced various illusions and challenges, but with the light of Celeste's crystal guiding her, she remained steadfast. After navigating through the darkness, she found the Heartstone, glowing with a soft, celestial light. With the Heartstone in hand, Mira returned to Starhaven. The villagers eagerly awaited her return, and as she approached the Lantern of the Lost Stars, she placed the Heartstone into its base. The moment the Heartstone touched the lantern, a brilliant light burst forth, filling the night sky with a dazzling display of stars. The missing star had been returned, and the lantern's magic was fully restored. The village of Starhaven sparkled once more under the brilliance of the night sky, and its prosperity and joy were renewed. The villagers celebrated Mira's bravery and determination, and the story of her quest became a cherished tale in Starhaven. Mira's adventure was a reminder that even in the darkest times, hope and courage could lead to the restoration of magic and light. And so, the Lantern of the Lost Stars continued to shine brightly, and the village thrived under the twinkling night sky, with Mira's story inspiring future generations to seek out their own quests with hearts full of bravery and wonder. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a kind and adventurous girl named Avellini. She resided in a quaint village at the edge of the enchanted forest, a mysterious place filled with magical creatures and ancient secrets. The villagers often told tales of the forest's wonders and dangers, but Avellini's curiosity always drew her to its borders. Avellini lived with her father, a skilled carpenter, and her younger brother, Leo. Their mother had passed away when Leo was just a baby, leaving Avellini to take on the role of caretaker for her family. Despite the hardships, Avellini remained optimistic and full of life. One autumn evening, as the golden leaves fell from the trees, a chilling wind swept through the village. The villagers gathered in the town square to discuss a growing problem. The enchanted forest had begun to spread its roots and vines into the village, causing crops to wither and homes to become entangled. They feared that if the forest's magic continued to encroach, their village would be consumed. An old woman named Matilda, who was known for her wisdom and knowledge of the forest, stepped forward. The forest is alive with magic, she said, and it is disturbed by an imbalance. The heart of the forest, a magical crystal that keeps the forest in harmony, has been stolen by a dark sorceress named Morgana. Only by retrieving the crystal can we restore balance and save our village. The villagers were frightened, but Avellini felt a stirring of courage within her. I will go into the enchanted forest and retrieve the heart of the forest, she declared. Despite her father's protests, Avellini was determined to save her home. Equipped with her father's handcrafted bow, a quiver of arrows, and a small satchel of provisions, Avellini set off into the enchanted forest. The forest was both beautiful and eerie, with towering trees that seemed to whisper secrets and glowing flowers that lit her path. She walked for hours, guided by the light of the full moon. As she ventured deeper, Avellini encountered a fox with fur as white as snow and eyes that sparkled like sapphires. "Greetings, young adventurer," the fox said. "I am Finn, guardian of the forest. I sense your noble quest to retrieve the heart of the forest. I will guide you, but you must prove your worthiness by solving 3 riddles." Avellini nodded, ready for the challenge. Finn's first riddle was, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Avellini thought for a moment before answering, "An echo." Finn nodded in approval. "Very good. The second riddle, I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" "Fire," Avellini replied confidently. "Correct," said Finn. "Now for the final riddle. I am seen in the water if seen in the sky. I am in the rainbow, a jay's feather, and lapis lazuli. What am I?" "Blue," Avellini answered. Finn smiled. "You are indeed worthy. Follow me." The fox led Avellini through winding paths and hidden trails until they reached a dark cave, where Morgana resided. As they approached the cave, Morgana appeared, her eyes glowing with malice. "So, a brave girl comes to steal my prize," she hissed. "You cannot defeat me." Avellini stood tall. "I do not wish to fight. I only seek to restore balance and save my village. The heart of the forest does not belong to you." Morgana laughed, but before she could cast a spell, Finn darted forward, distracting her. Seizing the opportunity, Avellini nocked an arrow and aimed for the crystal hanging around Morgana's neck. With a deep breath, she released the arrow, striking the crystal and shattering its chain. The heart of the forest fell to the ground, and Avellini quickly retrieved it. Morgana screamed in rage, but as Avellini held the crystal high, its light filled the cave, driving the sorceress back. The forest responded to the crystal's power, and Morgana, unable to withstand its pure magic, vanished in a swirl of dark smoke. With the heart of the forest in hand, Avellini and Finn returned to the heart of the enchanted forest. There, they placed the crystal in its rightful place, and the forest immediately began to heal. The roots and vines withdrew from the village, and the balance was restored. Avellini returned to her village a hero. The villagers celebrated her bravery and wisdom, and her father and brother embraced her with tears of joy. The heart of the forest continued to protect the village, ensuring its prosperity for generations to come. And so, Avellini's tale became a cherished legend in Eldoria, a story of courage, kindness, and the magic of a brave heart. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a village nestled at the edge of a magical forest, there stood an ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. The villagers believed the tree held great secrets and magical powers, as its branches would sway gently even without a breeze, and its leaves would rustle with soft, melodic whispers. In this village lived a curious young girl named Elowen. Elowen had always been fascinated by the Whispering Willow and its mysterious whispers. She spent her afternoons sitting beneath its branches, trying to decipher the whispers and unravel its secrets. One day, as she was resting under the tree, a particularly clear whisper reached her ears: "Find the lost star and restore the light." Elowen's heart raced with excitement. She had heard tales of a fallen star that had once illuminated the night sky but had been lost for many years. Determined to restore the star's light, Elowen set out on a quest. Armed with a small backpack containing a map, a lantern, and some provisions, Elowen ventured into the forest. As she walked, she noticed the trees growing denser and the light growing dimmer. The forest was enchanting but mysterious, with paths that seemed to twist and turn on their own. As dusk fell, Elowen found herself in a grove filled with bioluminescent flowers that glowed softly in the darkness. At the center of the grove stood a tall, majestic creature, a unicorn with a shimmering mane and a gentle, knowing gaze. "Welcome, brave Elowen," the unicorn spoke in a melodious voice. "I am Lumina, the guardian of the lost star. To find the star, you must first prove your heart's worth." Lumina told Elowen that the path to the star was fraught with challenges that tested her courage, kindness, and wisdom. Elowen accepted the challenge with determination and gratitude. The first challenge led Elowen to a deep, dark cave. Inside, she found a small, frightened dragon whose tail was trapped under a heavy rock. The dragon's eyes were filled with fear, but Eloan approached calmly and gently moved the rock. The dragon thanked her with a warm, grateful smile and shared a clue: follow the path where the moonlight touches the earth. With the clue in mind, Eloan followed the path bathed in moonlight. It led her to a serene lake with waters as clear as glass. There, she encountered a wise old turtle who was stuck in a tangle of vines. Eloan carefully freed the turtle, and in return, the turtle gave her another clue: the star lies beyond the tree that never falls. Guided by the clues, Eloan reached a towering, ancient tree that seemed to touch the heavens. Its branches stretched out in all directions, and its roots were entwined with the very earth. At the base of the tree, Eloan discovered a hidden door covered in intricate carvings. With a deep breath, she opened the door and stepped into a hidden chamber illuminated by a soft, celestial glow. At the center of the chamber lay the lost star, a beautiful, radiant gem that had lost its brilliance. Eloan approached the star and spoke softly. "I have come to restore your light. Please, return to the sky where you belong." As she spoke, a magical aura enveloped the star, and its light began to rekindle. Eloan watched in awe as the star's brilliance grew brighter and brighter, filling the chamber with a dazzling glow. The star floated gently from its resting place and ascended through a hidden opening in the ceiling. As it rose, it illuminated the sky, casting a beautiful, golden light over the forest and the village beyond. Eloan emerged from the chamber to find the forest bathed in the star's warm glow. Lumina, the unicorn, appeared beside her, beaming with pride. "You have shown great courage, kindness, and wisdom," Lumina said. "The lost star is now restored, and its light will guide and protect the forest and village for years to come." Eloan returned to her village, where she was greeted with joy and celebration. The villagers marveled at the star's renewed brilliance and were grateful for Eloan's bravery. The whispering willow, once again, rustled with happy whispers, and its leaves sparkled in the star's light. And so, Eloan's adventure became a cherished story in the village, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic that lies within each heart. The whispering willow continued to offer guidance and wisdom to those who sought its whispers, and the lost star shone brightly in the night sky, a symbol of hope and wonder. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. She was known for her gentle spirit and her love for all living things. Elara spent her days tending to her garden, which was the most beautiful in the village. She grew vibrant flowers, delicious fruits, and fragrant herbs, all with a touch of magic that seemed to flow from her very soul. One sunny morning, as Elara was watering her plants, an old woman with a weary look approached her garden gate. "Please, young girl," the woman pleaded, "I am tired and hungry. Could you spare some food?" Without hesitation, Elara invited the woman into her garden and shared with her the freshest fruits and a cool drink of water. The woman ate gratefully, and as she finished, her tired eyes sparkled with a mysterious light. She revealed herself to be not an ordinary woman, but a wise and powerful enchantress named Mirabelle. "You have shown me great kindness," Mirabelle said, "and for that, I shall grant you a gift. In the heart of the enchanted forest lies a hidden garden, more wondrous than you can imagine. It is a place where dreams come to life, and the rarest flowers bloom. To find it, you must follow the song of the nightingale that sings only at midnight." Elara thanked Mirabelle, her heart filled with curiosity and excitement. That night, as the village slept, she listened carefully. Just as the clock struck 12, she heard the sweet, melodious song of a nightingale. Guided by the music, she ventured into the enchanted forest. The forest was alive with magic. Trees whispered secrets to one another, and glowing fireflies lit Elara's path. She followed the nightingale's song deeper and deeper into the woods until she reached a clearing bathed in moonlight. There, in the center, was the hidden garden Mirabelle had spoken of. The garden was unlike anything Elara had ever seen. Flowers of every color imaginable swayed gently in the breeze, their petals shimmering like precious gems. The air was filled with the scent of honey and fresh rain. At the heart of the garden stood a magnificent tree with golden leaves and silver blossoms. As Alara approached the tree, she noticed a small, ornate box nestled among its roots. She opened the box and found a glowing seed inside. Just then, the nightingale flew down and landed on her shoulder, singing a soft, enchanting tune. "This seed holds the magic of this garden," the nightingale said. "Plant it in your garden, and it will bring endless beauty and abundance to your village. But remember, its magic will only flourish if nurtured with love and kindness." Alara carefully took the seed and made her way back home. She planted it in the center of her garden, and from that day on, her garden became a place of wonder and enchantment. The flowers grew more vibrant, the fruits more delicious, and the herbs more fragrant than ever before. Word of Alara's magical garden spread far and wide, and people came from distant lands to see its beauty. Alara welcomed them all with open arms, sharing her bounty and teaching others the importance of kindness and love. Years passed, and Alara's garden continued to thrive. The village prospered, and the spirit of generosity and compassion that Alara had sown in her garden spread throughout the land. The enchanted garden became a symbol of hope and unity, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the simple acts of kindness we show to one another. And so, Alara lived a long and happy life, surrounded by the beauty she had helped create, knowing that her legacy of love and kindness would endure for generations to come. Once upon a time, in the bustling town of Bramblebrook, there was a humble clockmaker named Eamon. Eamon was known for his skill in crafting the finest timepieces, each clock meticulously made with gears that turned in perfect harmony. His shop, nestled at the corner of a cobblestone street, was filled with clocks of all shapes and sizes, their ticking creating a soothing melody that filled the air. Despite his talent, Eamon led a quiet and solitary life. His only companion was a small, wooden bird perched on the windowsill of his workshop. The bird, a silver sparrow carved by Eamon himself, was his pride and joy. Though the bird was only made of wood and silver, Eamon often found himself talking to it as if it were alive. He would wind it up each morning, and the sparrow would chirp a sweet, mechanical tune. One chilly autumn evening, as Eamon was closing his shop, he noticed a peculiar shimmer in the air. He followed the glimmer to the edge of town, where he found an old, crumbling well hidden beneath a tangle of vines. As he peered into the well, he saw something glinting at the bottom, a small, glowing key. Curiosity getting the better of him, Eamon carefully retrieved the key from the well. It was unlike any key he had ever seen, with intricate designs etched into its surface and a soft, warm glow emanating from it. He turned it over in his hands, wondering what it could unlock. That night, Eamon placed the key on his workbench and went to bed, his thoughts filled with the mystery of the strange find. As he slept, a soft, silver light filled his workshop, and the silver sparrow began to stir. The tiny bird stretched its wings and fluttered off the windowsill, its eyes now glowing with life. The key, too, began to glow brighter, as if in response to the sparrow's awakening. The next morning, Eamon awoke to the sound of soft chirping. Rubbing his eyes, he was astonished to see the silver sparrow flitting about his workshop, its wings moving gracefully as if it were a living creature. The little bird landed on his shoulder and chirped a cheerful tune, as if greeting him. Eamon could hardly believe his eyes. You're alive," he exclaimed, reaching out to gently stroke the sparrow's silver feathers. The bird nuzzled against his hand, its eyes filled with warmth and affection. Realizing that the key must have something to do with this magical transformation, Eamon picked it up and examined it once more. The sparrow chirped excitedly, as if urging him to follow. Trusting the bird, Eamon slipped the key into his pocket and set out on a journey, the sparrow perched on his shoulder. The sparrow led Eamon deep into the heart of the Whispering Woods, a forest known for its ancient trees and hidden secrets. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the trees began to part, revealing a hidden path that glowed with the same soft light as the key. After hours of walking, they arrived at a large, ornate gate made of silver and gold, overgrown with ivy and moss. The gate was adorned with carvings of birds, flowers, and stars, and at its center was a keyhole that matched the size and shape of the glowing key. With a sense of anticipation, Eamon inserted the key into the gate and turned it. The gate creaked open, revealing a magnificent garden bathed in silver light. The garden was filled with vibrant flowers, sparkling fountains, and trees that glistened with dew that shimmered like diamonds. In the center of the garden stood a grand clock tower, its face glowing with the same magical light. The silver sparrow flew ahead, leading Eamon to the base of the clock tower. As they approached, the clock tower chimed, its sound resonating through the air like a melody of bells. Eamon noticed an inscription on the base of the tower. To those who find the key and the heart of the silver sparrow, the gift of time shall be yours, and the forgotten shall be remembered. Suddenly, the sparrow flew into the clock tower, and as it did, the entire garden began to glow even brighter. The flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, the fountains bubbled with fresh, sparkling water, and the trees rustled with a gentle breeze. The garden, once forgotten, was now alive with magic. Eamon felt a warmth in his heart as he realized the true meaning of the inscription. The silver sparrow, born from his love and care, had guided him to this enchanted place where time itself was cherished and preserved. In return, the garden had granted him a gift of time, not just for himself, but for the memories of those who had been forgotten. From that day on, Eamon's clocks no longer merely told time. They became magical instruments that captured moments and memories, preserving them in a way that kept them alive forever. The people of Bramblebrook soon noticed that their lives felt fuller, their memories more vivid, and their hearts lighter, all thanks to the clocks crafted by Eamon's skilled hands. As for the silver sparrow, it remained in the garden, watching over the clock tower and the magical land within. Eamon would visit often, bringing with him new stories, new memories, and new love, which the garden would preserve for all eternity. And so, Eamon's story spread far and wide, reminding everyone that time is not just measured by hours and minutes, but by the love and memories we create. The tale of the silver sparrow and the enchanted garden became a cherished legend, passed down through generations, ensuring that the forgotten would always be remembered. The end. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and dense, whispering forests, there was a garden unlike any other. This garden was said to be enchanted, hidden away behind a tall, ivy-covered gate that no one had opened for generations. It was known only through the tales told by the village's elders, who spoke of flowers that sang lullabies and trees that told stories. The village was small and charming, but life there had grown a little dull. The villagers worked hard, tended to their fields, and cared for their animals, but the magic and wonder that once filled their lives had faded into memory. The only one who still believed in the tales of the enchanted garden was a little girl named Lila. Lila was curious and adventurous, with a heart full of dreams and a mind full of questions. Every evening, she would sit by the gate and imagine what lay beyond it. She imagined flowers that shimmered like stars and trees that whispered secrets of faraway lands. One summer's day, as the sun began to set and the sky turned into a canvas of orange and pink, Lila noticed something peculiar. The gate, which had always been locked tight, was now slightly ajar. Her heart raced with excitement as she pushed the gate open just enough to squeeze through. On the other side, Lila found herself in a garden that seemed to glow with an ethereal light. The flowers were indeed like stars, their petals radiating soft, shimmering colors. The trees were tall and majestic, their leaves rustling with the gentle hum of ancient psalms. The air was filled with the scent of blooming roses and the sound of melodies that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. As Lila wandered deeper into the garden, she heard a soft voice singing a lullaby. She followed the sound and came upon a small, clear pond. Floating above the pond was a tiny, shimmering figure, a fairy with delicate wings that sparkled like dew in the morning sun. The fairy was singing to the water lilies, which were swaying in rhythm with the melody. "Hello," Lila said softly, not wanting to startle the fairy. The fairy looked up with a twinkle in her eye. "Hello, little one. I am Lyra, the guardian of this garden. Few have ventured here in many years." Lila's eyes widened with wonder. "Is it really true? Do the flowers sing and the trees talk?" Lyra smiled and nodded. "Yes, indeed. This garden is a place of magic and dreams. It reflects the beauty and wonder of the world. But it is also a place that needs to be protected. Only those with a pure heart and a sense of wonder may enter. Lila's face lit up with a smile. I've always believed in magic. I've dreamed of seeing this garden with my own eyes. Lyra's eyes softened. Then you are truly welcome here. But before you go, there is something I must show you. With a wave of her tiny hand, Lyra led Lila to a large, ancient tree at the center of the garden. Its trunk was wide, and its branches reached up like arms toward the sky. At the base of the tree was a small door, intricately carved with symbols of stars and moons. This is the Tree of Wishes, Lyra explained. It holds the power to grant one true wish to someone with a heart full of dreams. Lila gazed at the tree in awe. I don't know what to wish for. There are so many things I could ask for. Lyra nodded. Think carefully, for your wish must come from the heart and reflect the true nature of what you desire most. Lila thought long and hard. She thought about her village and how the magic and wonder seemed to be missing from their lives. She thought about how much she wanted to share the beauty of the garden with her family and friends. Finally, she closed her eyes and made her wish. I wish for the magic of this garden to bring joy and wonder to my village, so that everyone can feel the same happiness and wonder I feel now. The Tree of Wishes glowed softly as Lila spoke her wish. The leaves rustled, and the air seemed to hum with a gentle energy. Lyra smiled warmly at Lila. Your wish is a beautiful one, Lyra said. It is granted. The magic of the garden will now touch the hearts of your village. As Lila turned to leave, the garden seemed to embrace her with a warm, glowing light. She stepped back through the gate, which closed gently behind her, leaving her with a sense of peace and fulfillment. In the days that followed, the village began to change in wonderful ways. The fields flourished with vibrant flowers, the animals seemed to sing with joy, and the villagers found themselves smiling and laughing more than they had in years. The magic of the enchanted garden had spread its wonder to their lives, and the village was once again filled with the beauty and joy that Lila had wished for. And as for Lila, she never stopped believing in magic. She knew that it was not just in gardens or fairies, but in the dreams and kindness that lived in every heart. And so, the village thrived, always remembering the girl who believed in magic and made a wish for the happiness of others. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a tranquil kingdom nestled between lush forests and sparkling rivers, there was a small village named Harmonia. This village was renowned for its love of music and celebration. Every year, the villagers held a grand festival where they would play enchanting melodies that echoed through the land, bringing joy to all who heard them. At the heart of Harmonia lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra had a special gift. She could play the harp with such skill and passion that it seemed as though the very stars themselves were singing along. Her harp, a family heirloom, was said to possess a touch of magic, but its true power had remained a mystery. One autumn evening, as the village prepared for the Festival of Harmony, a strange and powerful storm swept through the kingdom. The storm was unlike anything anyone had seen before. Dark clouds roiled in the sky, lightning crackled, and the wind howled with a haunting melody. As the storm raged, it knocked down trees and damaged homes, leaving the village in disarray. The next morning, the villagers awoke to find their beloved festival decorations ruined and their spirits dampened. Lyra, deeply saddened by the state of the village, decided to seek solace in her music. She sat by a quiet stream, her harp resting gently in her lap, and began to play a soothing melody. As her fingers danced across the strings, the music seemed to transform the very air around her. The storm clouds above began to shift, revealing a beam of golden sunlight that bathed the village in warmth. But despite the beauty of the moment, Lyra felt a sense of unease. She knew that the storm was a sign of something more, a deeper unrest that needed to be addressed. That night, as Lyra slept, she was visited in a dream by a luminous figure, a radiant fairy with wings like gossamer and a cloak of shimmering stardust. The fairy introduced herself as Seraphina, the guardian of the magical harp. Lyra, Seraphina said, her voice like a gentle breeze, your harp holds a great power. But it has been dormant for many years. The storm was a test, a sign that the balance of harmony in the kingdom has been disturbed. Only the true magic of the harp can restore it. Lyra listened intently, feeling a surge of determination. How can I use the harp's magic to help my village? Seraphina smiled kindly. The magic of the harp can only be awakened by a song of pure heart. You must play a melody that resonates with the essence of harmony and healing. Only then will the storm's curse be lifted and balance restored. The next day, Lyra set to work, practicing her harp tirelessly. She composed a new melody, drawing from her deepest emotions and the love she felt for her village. Her music echoed through the forest, carrying with it a message of hope and renewal. As the full moon rose high in the sky, Lyra gathered the villagers in the town square. Despite their weariness, they were drawn to the sound of her harp, which now shimmered with a golden light. Lyra began to play the melody she had created, her fingers moving gracefully over the strings. The music was enchanting and ethereal, weaving through the air like a delicate ribbon. As the notes floated into the night, the storm clouds above began to part, revealing a sky filled with twinkling stars. The wind softened, and the once damaged decorations began to glow with new light. The village was bathed in a warm, magical glow. The villagers, touched by the beauty of Lyra's music, felt their spirits lift. They joined hands and danced around the square, their hearts filled with joy and gratitude. The storm's curse was broken, and balance was restored to the kingdom. From that day forward, the Festival of Harmony was celebrated with even greater enthusiasm. Lyra's harp became a symbol of the village's unity and resilience, and her music was cherished as a reminder of the power of pure-hearted magic. Lyra continued to play her harp, her melodies bringing comfort and joy to all who heard them. She became a beloved figure in Harmonia, known for her kindness and the magic she brought to the world through her music. And so, in the village of Harmonia, where the notes of a magical harp danced on the wind, they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a dense forest, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was known throughout the village for her green thumb. She could make anything grow, from the tiniest seed to the most stubborn plant. Her garden was the most beautiful in the village, filled with vibrant flowers, towering trees, and vegetables that grew in abundance. But what made her garden truly special was a small, mysterious gate at the far end, covered in ivy and hidden from view. One summer evening, as the sun was setting and the sky was painted in hues of pink and orange, Lily noticed something strange about the gate. The ivy seemed to glow with a faint, golden light, and the air around it shimmered as if it were filled with tiny, invisible stars. Curious, Lily approached the gate, brushing aside the ivy that had grown over it. To her surprise, she found an old, rusted keyhole in the center of the gate, with a key still inside. Her heart pounding with excitement, Lily turned the key, and with a soft click, the gate creaked open. She stepped through, finding herself in a place unlike any she had ever seen. It was another garden, but this one was magical. The flowers glowed with colors she had never imagined, the trees whispered ancient secrets, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of unknown blossoms. At the center of this enchanted garden stood a tall, ancient tree with silver bark and leaves that glittered like stars. The tree had a face, old and wise, and as Lily approached, it smiled at her. "Welcome, young one," the tree said in a voice as gentle as the wind. "You have found the enchanted garden, a place of magic and wonder. Only those with pure hearts and a deep love for nature can enter here. I am the guardian of this garden, and I have been waiting for someone like you." Lily was awestruck. "This place is beautiful," she said, her voice filled with awe. "But why have you been waiting for me?" The guardian tree's eyes twinkled. "This garden is a source of life and magic, but it has been fading over the years. The magic here needs to be nurtured, and only someone who truly understands the beauty and power of nature can do that. I have watched you tend to your garden, and I know that you are the one who can save this place." Lily felt a swell of pride and determination. "I will do everything I can to help," she promised. The guardian tree nodded. "There are 3 tasks you must complete to restore the garden's magic. First, you must find the crystal waters, a hidden spring that flows deep within the garden. The water from this spring will nourish the roots of the trees and plants, bringing them back to life. Lily set off on her first task, guided by the whispers of the trees and the glowing flowers. After some time, she found herself standing before a large, ancient stone covered in moss and vines. Beneath the stone, she could hear the gentle sound of flowing water. With a bit of effort, she moved the stone aside and uncovered the spring. The water was crystal clear and shimmered with a faint blue light. She carefully filled a small vial she had brought with her and returned to the guardian tree. "Well done," the guardian tree said as Lily poured the crystal water around its roots. The ground seemed to glow as the water soaked in, and the tree stood taller, its leaves sparkling brighter than before. "Your second task," the tree continued, "is to find the golden seeds. These seeds are hidden within the garden and have the power to grow plants that will restore the garden's beauty. But beware, for the seeds are guarded by the forest spirits, who are wary of outsiders." Lily ventured deeper into the garden, the path winding through thick undergrowth and past ancient, twisted trees. As she walked, she began to hear faint, melodic music, like a lullaby carried on the breeze. She followed the sound until she reached a clearing where tiny, glowing beings danced in the air, the forest spirits. The spirits stopped their dance as Lily approached, watching her with curious, shimmering eyes. Lily knew she had to gain their trust, so she knelt down and spoke softly. "I come to help the garden," she said. "I seek the golden seeds to restore its magic." The forest spirits whispered among themselves, their voices like wind chimes. Finally, one of them fluttered forward, holding a tiny pouch made of leaves and filled with golden seeds. "We have guarded these seeds for many years," the spirit said. "We give them to you, for we sense your love for this place is true. Use them wisely." Lily thanked the spirits and took the seeds back to the guardian tree. She planted them in the rich soil around the tree, and immediately, the garden began to transform. Flowers of every color bloomed, vines climbed the trees, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms. "Your final task," said the guardian tree, "is the most important. You must find the heart of the garden, a rare and delicate flower that blooms only once every 100 years. The heart of the garden holds the very essence of this place, and without it, the magic cannot survive." Lily knew this would be the most challenging task, but she was determined to succeed. She searched high and low, through every corner of the enchanted garden. Finally, in a quiet, secluded grove, she found the heart of the garden. It was a small, delicate flower with petals that shimmered like the night sky, deep blue with flecks of silver, as if the stars themselves had settled upon it. Carefully, Lily picked the flower and brought it back to the guardian tree. As she placed the heart of the garden at the tree's base, the entire garden burst into life. The trees sang, the flowers danced, and the air was filled with light and magic. The guardian tree's voice echoed through the garden, filled with gratitude. "You have done it, Lily. The garden is restored, and its magic will now live on for centuries to come. You are the true guardian of this place, and it will forever be yours." Lily smiled, her heart swelling with happiness. She knew she had found her true calling. From that day on, she cared for the enchanted garden, visiting it every day, and its magic continued to flourish under her watchful eye. And so, the garden remained a place of wonder and beauty, a secret known only to Lily and the magical beings who dwelled within it. The villagers often marveled at how Lily's garden seemed to grow more beautiful with each passing day, never suspecting the enchanted world hidden just beyond the ivy-covered gate. In time, Lily grew old, but her love for the garden never faded. She passed on the knowledge and the secret of the garden to her children, who continued to care for it as she had. And so, the magic of the enchanted garden lived on, a testament to the power of love, dedication, and the wonder of nature. The end. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the reach of ordinary maps, there was a hidden realm called Elderglow. Elderglow was a place where magic flowed like a gentle stream, and the skies sparkled with countless stars even during the day. The heart of Elderglow was a meadow known as the Starlit Meadow, famous for its flowers that bloomed only under the light of the moon. In a small cottage at the edge of Elderglow lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and love for nature. She spent her days tending to her garden and exploring the wonders of the meadow. Every evening, she would sit by the edge of the starlit meadow, marveling at the way the flowers glowed softly in the moonlight. One crisp autumn night, as Mira admired the beauty of the meadow, she noticed something strange. The flowers were not blooming as brightly as usual, and the stars in the sky seemed to dim. Concerned, Mira decided to investigate. She believed that the meadow's magic was in danger and that she had to find out why. Mira set off toward the heart of the meadow, guided by the faint glow of the flowers. As she walked, she noticed a small, glistening object lying on the ground. It was a delicate silver key with a sapphire in the center. Mira picked up the key and, sensing it was important, decided to carry it with her. Deep within the meadow, Mira found a hidden grove she had never seen before. At the center of the grove was an ancient oak tree with a door embedded in its trunk. The door was locked, and it had a keyhole shaped like the sapphire on the key Mira had found. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, Mira inserted the key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open to reveal a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. Mira took a deep breath and descended the staircase, with Sable, her clever squirrel companion, scampering beside her. At the bottom of the staircase, Mira found herself in a large, underground chamber. The chamber was filled with sparkling crystals and glowing mushrooms that illuminated the space with a soft light. In the center of the chamber was a pedestal holding a shimmering, moonlit orb. As Mira approached the orb, a gentle voice spoke from the shadows. "Welcome, guardian of the meadow," said the voice. From the shadows emerged a graceful fairy with wings that glittered like stardust. "I am Leora, the keeper of the moon's light. The orb you see before you is the heart of the meadow, the source of its magic." Leora continued, "The heart of the meadow has lost its power because the moon's light has been stolen. Without the moon's light, the meadow's magic is fading. To restore it, you must retrieve the moon's light from the shadow realm." Mira listened intently as Leora explained that the moon's light had been captured by a mischievous shadow sprite named Noctis. The shadow realm was a place of darkness and illusion, and retrieving the moon's light would be a formidable task. Determined to save the meadow, Mira and Sable set off for the shadow realm. They entered a dark, misty forest where the trees whispered secrets and shadows danced in the darkness. The path was winding and treacherous, but Mira's bravery and Sable's keen senses guided them through. Eventually, they reached a glistening castle made of shadows. The castle was guarded by Noctis, a small, playful sprite with dark eyes and a mischievous grin. Noctis held the moon's light, which glowed faintly in his hands. To reclaim the moon's light, Noctis said with a twinkle in his eye, "You must win a game of wits. Answer this riddle: I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Mira thought carefully. The answer to the riddle was fire. Noctis's eyes widened with surprise and admiration. "You have answered correctly. The moon's light is yours to return." Noctis handed over the moon's light, and with a gesture of his hand, the shadows around them began to recede. Mira and Sable hurried back to the meadow, where they placed the moon's light back into the heart of the meadow. As the moon's light touched the heart, the meadow's flowers began to glow with renewed brilliance. The stars in the sky sparkled more brightly, and the magic of Elderglow was restored. Mira was hailed as a heroine, and the starlit meadow flourished once more, bathed in the gentle glow of moonlight. The tale of Mira's bravery and kindness became a cherished story in Elderglow, a reminder of the power of courage and the magic that lies within the heart of every hero. And so, Mira continued to care for the meadow, and Elderglow thrived under the twinkling light of the stars, living happily ever after. The enchanted carousel. Once upon a time, in a vibrant kingdom filled with bustling markets and grand palaces, there was a quaint village known for its annual festival. This festival was renowned across the land, not only for its lively music and delicious food but also for the magical enchanted carousel. This carousel, adorned with golden horses and sparkling lights, was said to grant a single wish to whoever rode it under the full moon. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila. Lila loved the festival, but her joy was overshadowed by her family's struggles. Her parents ran a small bakery, but business had been slow, and they were on the brink of losing their home. Lila, with her warm smile and generous spirit, wished more than anything for her family to be able to keep their home and thrive. One evening, as the festival approached, Lila overheard the village elders speaking about the enchanted carousel and its magical powers. Determined to help her family, Lila decided she would make a wish at the carousel and use its magic to improve their lives. The night of the festival. On the night of the festival, the village was aglow with lanterns and laughter. The enchanted carousel stood at the center of the festival grounds, its golden horses gleaming under the full moon. The carousel was surrounded by curious onlookers, each hoping to catch a glimpse of its magic. Lila, dressed in a simple but beautiful gown, made her way to the carousel. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she approached. As the clock struck midnight, signaling the start of the magical hour, Lila took her place on one of the carousel's magnificent horses. The carousel's magic. As Lila mounted the horse, she closed her eyes and made her wish, "I wish for my family's bakery to flourish and for us to have a happy and secure life." The carousel began to spin slowly, and a soft, melodious chime filled the air. The golden lights of the carousel seemed to dance and twinkle as if celebrating Lila's wish. As the carousel spun faster, a warm, golden light enveloped Lila, and she felt a gentle breeze caress her face. When Lila opened her eyes, the carousel's magic had begun to work. She could see the entire village bathed in a magical glow, and she felt a deep sense of hope and reassurance. A surprising return the next morning. As the festival came to an end, Lila returned to her family's bakery. To her amazement, the once quiet bakery was now bustling with customers. The scent of freshly baked bread and pastries filled the air, and people from neighboring villages had come to taste the delicious treats. Lila's parents were overjoyed and bewildered. They thanked Lila for her efforts, not knowing about her wish but sensing the change. As the days went by, the bakery continued to thrive, and the family was able to keep their home and even expand their business. Lila's kind heart and selfless wish had not only transformed her family's fortune but had also inspired the entire village. The villagers began to support each other more, sharing their successes and helping those in need. The festival, once just a celebration, became a symbol of the village's unity and the magic of believing in one another. The legacy of the enchanted carousel. Years later, Lila grew up to be a beloved figure in the village, known for her generosity and kindness. The enchanted carousel remained a cherished part of the festival, reminding everyone of the magic that comes from selflessness and the power of a pure heart. The tale of Lila and the enchanted carousel was passed down through generations, a reminder that the true magic of the carousel lay not in the wish itself but in the love and hope that fueled it. And so, the village continued to prosper, forever blessed by the magic of the enchanted carousel and the heart of one extraordinary young girl. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, there was a quaint little village called Serendipia. The village was known for its vibrant gardens, its cheerful festivals, and most notably, for its magnificent star-shaped fountain that stood in the village square. This fountain was said to hold a magic star, known as the Star of Serendipity, that granted a single wish to anyone with a truly pure heart. The fountain was lovingly cared for by a kind-hearted young girl named Mira. Mira had always been fascinated by the star and the stories surrounding it. Her parents had told her that the star had once been a gift from the heavens, given to the village to bring joy and luck. One bright summer day, as the village prepared for its annual festival, a shadow fell over the land. A fierce, dark cloud covered the sky, blocking out the sun and casting an eerie gloom over Serendipia. The villagers were worried, as the darkness seemed to sap their energy and joy. Even the Star of Serendipity appeared to be dimmed by the shadow. Mira decided that she had to do something. She believed that the magic of the star could help lift the darkness if only she could restore its light. With a heart full of determination, Mira set out on a quest to find out why the star had lost its glow. She ventured into the nearby enchanted forest, where she met a wise old owl named Orin. Orin had lived in the forest for many years and knew much about its secrets. Wise Orin, Mira asked, do you know why the Star of Serendipity has lost its light? Orin hooted thoughtfully. The star's light may be fading due to a disturbance in the balance of magic. There is an ancient prophecy that speaks of a hidden crystal, the Heart of Light, which can restore the star's brilliance. The crystal is hidden deep within the Forest of Whispers, guarded by magical creatures. You must find it to bring back the light. Thanking Orin, Mira continued her journey into the Forest of Whispers. The forest was filled with mystical creatures and shimmering lights, but it was also filled with trickery and illusions. Mira's path was not straightforward, and she had to navigate through a maze of enchanted vines and shifting shadows. Along the way, Mira encountered a mischievous sprite named Faye who tried to lead her astray with illusions and riddles. However, Mira's pure heart and determination allowed her to see through the tricks and stay true to her path. Faye, impressed by Mira's resolve, decided to help her. There's a hidden glade deep in the forest where the Heart of Light is kept, Faye said. I will guide you there, but you must promise to use the crystal's power wisely. Mira agreed, and with Faye's help, she reached the hidden glade. In the center of the glade was a large, ancient tree with a hollow at its base. Inside the hollow, Mira found the Heart of Light, a radiant crystal that glowed with a warm, golden light. As Mira took the crystal, the forest seemed to come alive with a vibrant energy. The dark cloud over Serendipia began to dissipate, and the sunlight began to pierce through the shadows. Returning to the village with the Heart of Light, Mira placed the crystal at the base of the star-shaped fountain. The crystal's light merged with the star, and the Star of Serendipity began to shine brighter than ever before. The fountain's water sparkled with a magical glow, and the darkness that had covered the village vanished. The villagers rejoiced, their spirits lifted by the return of the light. They celebrated with a grand festival, where Mira was honored as a hero. The Star of Serendipity had not only restored its brilliance but had also brought a renewed sense of hope and joy to the village. From that day on, the fountain stood as a symbol of light and magic, reminding everyone that even in the darkest times, a pure heart and a bit of courage could restore brightness and bring about serendipitous changes. And so, Serendipia thrived under the glowing light of the Star of Serendipity, forever grateful to a brave girl whose heart had shone as brightly as the star itself. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a great forest, there was a little girl named Eliza who loved to stargaze. Every night, she would sit on the hill behind her house, looking up at the twinkling stars and dreaming of adventures beyond the village. One crisp autumn evening, as Eliza was settling in for her nightly stargazing, she noticed a soft, glowing light moving through the forest. Intrigued, she decided to follow the light to see where it led. She grabbed a warm coat and a lantern for safety and ventured into the forest. The light led her to a beautiful clearing where an enormous, ancient oak tree stood. At the base of the tree was a small, ornate lantern glowing with a silvery light. Eliza approached the lantern and, as she picked it up, a voice spoke from the tree. "Greetings, Eliza. I am the spirit of the oak," the voice said. "This lantern holds the power to grant one special wish, but it must be used wisely. The magic of the lantern can bring joy and light, but it also has the ability to reveal hidden truths." Eliza was amazed but curious. "What should I wish for?" she asked the spirit of the oak. The spirit replied, "Think deeply about what truly matters to you, and your wish will reveal itself." Eliza thought about her village and her dreams of adventure. She wished to explore beyond the forest and see the wonders of the world. She made her wish with all her heart, and the lantern's light grew even brighter. In an instant, Eliza found herself standing at the edge of a magical land she had only ever dreamed of. The land was a breathtaking place filled with floating islands, shimmering rivers, and majestic creatures. A friendly dragon named Thorn flew down to greet her. Thorn was covered in iridescent scales and had wings that sparkled like diamonds. "Welcome to the land of moonlight," Thorn said. "I am the guardian of this realm. You are here because your wish has opened the gateway to our world. Let me show you the wonders that await." Thorn led Eliza on a grand tour of the magical land. They visited the Rainbow Falls, where the water cascaded in every color of the spectrum. They soared through the starry skies, where constellations danced and formed shapes that told ancient stories. They even explored the enchanted gardens, where flowers sang and trees told tales of old. During their journey, Eliza met many magical beings, talking animals, kind-hearted fairies, and wise old wizards. Each one shared their stories and knowledge with her, and Eliza learned about the balance and harmony that kept the land of moonlight in its enchanting state. However, as the night began to deepen, Eliza felt a pang of homesickness. She missed her village, her family, and her simple life. She realized that while the magical land was incredible, her heart yearned for home. She returned to the spirit of the oak with a heavy heart and spoke honestly about her feelings. The spirit listened and smiled warmly. "You have experienced the wonders of our world and learned valuable lessons. Now, it's time for you to return home with a heart full of memories and wisdom." With a wave of the spirit's hand, the lantern's light enveloped Eliza, and she was gently transported back to the clearing in the forest. The lantern had dimmed, its magic fulfilled. Eliza hugged it tightly and thanked the spirit of the oak for the extraordinary adventure. As she walked back to her village, Eliza felt a newfound appreciation for her home and the people she loved. She knew that while the world was full of wonders, the greatest joy came from the simple, everyday moments with those she cherished. Eliza's tale of the land of moonlight became a beloved story in the village. The villagers would gather around her, eager to hear about the magical adventures and the lessons she learned. And every autumn, Eliza would return to the ancient oak tree to visit the lantern, remembering the magic it had brought into her life and the wisdom it had given her. And so, Eliza lived happily ever after, carrying the light of her adventure in her heart and sharing its magic with everyone she met. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, there was a small kingdom named Starhaven. Starhaven was renowned for its night skies, which were always illuminated by a brilliant star known as the Guiding Star. This star was not only beautiful but also magical, as it had the power to bring harmony and good fortune to the land. In Starhaven lived a young girl named Lila, who loved to gaze at the night sky. She had a special bond with the Guiding Star, often imagining it as a guardian watching over her and the entire kingdom. But one fateful night, as the villagers prepared for their annual star festival, the Guiding Star suddenly vanished from the sky, leaving Starhaven shrouded in darkness. The people of Starhaven were distraught. Without the Guiding Star, the kingdom seemed to lose its magic and joy. Lila, determined to restore the light and save her beloved home, decided to embark on a quest to find and return the star. Equipped with a small satchel, a lantern, and her loyal cat, Whiskers, Lila set off towards the Whispering Forest, where legend said magical creatures lived and where the Guiding Star might have been taken. The forest was known for its enchanting beauty but also its perplexing magic. As Lila entered the forest, she encountered a curious creature, a talking firefly named Loomis. Loomis had a warm, golden glow and fluttered around Lila. "Hello, brave traveler," Loomis said. "I see you seek the lost Guiding Star. The path to finding it is fraught with challenges. I can guide you, but you must prove your worthiness first." Lila nodded, her resolve unwavering. Loomis led her to a clearing where the first challenge awaited, a sparkling river that sang with a melodious voice. The river's song was beautiful but confusing, and it was said to disorient those who tried to cross it. Loomis spoke gently, "To cross this river, you must listen to the true melody of your heart. Find the rhythm that resonates with your deepest wish." Lila closed her eyes and listened to the river's song. She thought of the Guiding Star and how much it meant to her and her people. She let her own heart's melody guide her steps and, with a steady and determined rhythm, she walked across the river on stepping stones that appeared just as she needed them. On the other side, Lila found herself in a maze of shimmering vines that seemed to twist and turn endlessly. The maze was the second challenge, and it was known to test one's patience and wit. Loomis offered advice: "This maze is enchanted to reflect your doubts and fears. Trust in yourself and follow the path that feels right." Lila took a deep breath and remembered why she was on this quest. She focused on her purpose, trusting her instincts and heart. With determination, she navigated through the maze, eventually finding her way to the center where a small pedestal held a glowing crystal. The crystal began to pulsate with a soft light as Lila approached. It was a clue that she was on the right path. Loomis, who had been guiding her from above, buzzed excitedly. "The final challenge is near," Loomis said. "Follow the light and seek the source of the enchantment." Lila followed the light and came upon an ancient tree with branches that sparkled like diamonds. At the base of the tree was a hidden door, slightly ajar. She opened it and found a room filled with stars of all sizes, floating gently in the air. At the center of the room was the guiding star, dim and trapped within a web of magic. Standing nearby was a shadowy figure, a sorcerer who had stolen the star to harness its power. The sorcerer's eyes gleamed with mischief as he saw Lila. "Why have you come here, little girl?" the sorcerer sneered. "This star belongs to me now." Lila stood tall and spoke bravely. "The guiding star is not yours to keep. It belongs to Starhaven, and its light brings joy and harmony to everyone. I won't let you keep it." The sorcerer laughed, but his laughter was interrupted by a soft, glowing warmth that began to spread through the room. The crystal from the maze had started to glow brightly, filling the space with a pure, radiant light. The light grew stronger and started to break the web of magic around the guiding star. Seeing the power of the light, the sorcerer's confidence wavered. He tried to resist, but the light from the crystal and Lila's determination proved too powerful. The sorcerer fled, leaving the guiding star free to shine once more. Lila carefully took the guiding star and returned to Starhaven with Loomis and Whiskers. As she approached the village, the sky began to brighten, and the guiding star took its rightful place among the stars once more. The light it emitted filled the kingdom with a warm, golden glow, restoring the magic and joy to the land. The villagers celebrated Lila's bravery and the return of their beloved star with a grand festival. The kingdom of Starhaven thrived, and the guiding star continued to shine brightly, a symbol of hope and unity. And so, under the radiant light of the guiding star, Lila's tale became a cherished story in Starhaven, reminding everyone of the courage and determination it takes to bring light and happiness to the world. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where misty mountains met tranquil lakes, there was a quaint village called Evermere. The village was known for its colorful tapestries, woven with magical threads that could bring dreams to life. These tapestries were crafted by the Weaver of Dreams, a mysterious figure whose identity was known to none. In Evermere, there lived a young girl named Lila. Lila had a special gift. She could see the dreams of others and weave them into intricate patterns, though she was still learning how to master her craft. She often sat by the edge of the village, under the ancient willow tree, dreaming of one day meeting the legendary Weaver of Dreams. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned to shades of violet and gold, Lila saw a particularly strange dream drifting through the air. It was a dream of a great storm that threatened to flood the entire kingdom. The dream was so vivid and troubling that Lila decided to follow it, hoping to understand its meaning and find a way to prevent the disaster. She followed the dream through the forest until she reached a hidden glen bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glen stood a magnificent loom, adorned with shimmering threads and glowing with an otherworldly light. Behind the loom was a cloaked figure with eyes like stars. This was the Weaver of Dreams. The weaver turned and looked at Lila with a warm, knowing smile. "I've been expecting you," the weaver said, her voice like the rustling of leaves. "You followed the dream." Lila's eyes widened in awe. "You're the Weaver of Dreams." "The dream I saw was of a terrible storm." "What does it mean?" The weaver nodded solemnly. "This dream is a warning. A great storm is indeed coming, and if nothing is done, it will flood our kingdom and bring ruin." Lila felt a pang of fear but quickly resolved to help. "What can I do to stop it?" The Weaver of Dreams extended a hand, and a golden thread appeared. This thread is woven from the essence of hope and courage. It can be used to craft a tapestry that will guide the storm away from Evermere. But you must complete it before the storm arrives. Lila took the golden thread and began to weave. Her fingers moved swiftly and skillfully, guided by the weaver's gentle instructions. She wove a tapestry that depicted a serene landscape, filled with mountains, forests, and lakes, all bathed in warm sunlight. As she worked, the dream of the storm seemed to grow more intense, the winds picking up and the clouds darkening the sky. But Lila's determination never wavered. She wove with all her heart, pouring her hope and courage into every stitch. Finally, as the first drops of rain began to fall, Lila finished the tapestry. She and the weaver placed it on the loom, and with a wave of the weaver's hand, the tapestry floated up into the sky. It unfurled like a brilliant banner, glowing with a warm, golden light. The storm, which had been approaching with great fury, saw the tapestry and began to change course. The clouds parted, and the rain turned into a gentle drizzle. The storm, guided by the tapestry's magic, drifted away from the kingdom, leaving Evermere untouched. The village awoke the next morning to clear skies and a renewed sense of peace. The villagers gathered around Lila and the Weaver of Dreams, who had appeared in the village square to witness the miracle. "You have saved us," the villagers said, their voices filled with gratitude. "The storm was a great threat, but your bravery and skill have protected us." The Weaver of Dreams looked at Lila with pride. "It was not just the tapestry that saved the kingdom, but your heart and courage. You have proven yourself a true Weaver of Dreams." Lila beamed with happiness. "Thank you for your guidance. I'll continue to use my gift to help others and keep our dreams safe." And so, the kingdom of Evermere thrived under clear skies and gentle rains. Lila's tapestry became a symbol of hope and protection, and she continued to weave dreams with skill and compassion. The legend of the young girl who saved the kingdom and the mysterious Weaver of Dreams became a cherished tale, reminding all that even in the face of great challenges, hope and courage could weave a brighter future. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a humble tailor named Finn. Finn was known for his extraordinary skill in sewing, but he was also famous for his vivid imagination and adventurous spirit. He often dreamed of grand adventures beyond the village, where he could use his talents for something more than mending clothes and stitching hems. One crisp autumn morning, as Finn was working in his small shop, an old woman entered, clutching a tattered piece of cloth. Her eyes twinkled with a mysterious light, and her voice was soft but commanding. "Young tailor, can you mend this fabric?" Finn examined the cloth and noticed it was unlike anything he had ever seen. The fabric shimmered with an ethereal glow, and intricate patterns of stars, forests, and mythical creatures adorned it. "This is a very special fabric," Finn said, his curiosity piqued. "Where did you get it?" The old woman smiled, a hint of mischief in her eyes. "It is part of an enchanted tapestry that has the power to grant wishes. Long ago, it was torn in a great battle, and its pieces were scattered across the land. If you can repair it, great wonders will be revealed to you." Intrigued by the prospect of adventure and the chance to prove his skill, Finn agreed. The old woman handed him a needle that glowed with a soft, golden light. "This is a magical needle," she explained. "It will guide your hand and reveal the path to the other pieces of the tapestry." As soon as Finn began to sew, the needle seemed to take on a life of its own, leading him through complex stitches that mended the fabric. Once the piece was whole, a bright light enveloped the room, and Finn found himself transported to a dense, ancient forest. In this enchanted forest, Finn encountered a group of fairies. They fluttered around him, their wings sparkling like morning dew. "Thank you for mending the first piece of the tapestry," said the fairy queen, her voice like the tinkling of bells. "The next piece lies in the Cave of Echoes, guarded by a fearsome dragon." Though a little frightened, Finn's resolve did not waver. He followed the fairy's directions and soon found himself at the entrance of the Cave of Echoes. The cave's mouth was dark and foreboding, but the magical needle's light guided him. Inside, the walls of the cave glowed with ancient runes, and Finn could hear the distant roars of the dragon. Summoning all his courage, Finn approached the dragon's lair. The dragon, a massive creature with scales that gleamed like molten gold, was sleeping soundly. Next to the dragon, Finn saw the second piece of the tapestry. He carefully crept forward, his heart pounding in his chest. Just as he reached for the tapestry, the dragon's eyes snapped open. "Who dares to enter my domain?" the dragon roared, smoke billowing from its nostrils. Finn stood his ground and spoke bravely, "I am Finn, a tailor on a quest to restore the enchanted tapestry. I seek the piece that lies here." The dragon eyed him curiously. "A tailor, you say? Prove your worth. Solve my riddle, and the tapestry piece is yours." The dragon's eyes glinted with intelligence as it recited the riddle, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Finn thought for a moment, then smiled. "An echo," he answered confidently. The dragon nodded, impressed. "You are correct, brave tailor. The tapestry piece is yours." With a sweep of its tail, the dragon nudged the fabric toward Finn. Grateful, Finn carefully stitched the piece to the first one, and once again, he was enveloped in light. This time, he found himself in a grand, ancient library. Shelves upon shelves of books stretched as far as the eye could see. A wise old owl perched on a lectern greeted him. "Welcome, Finn. The final piece of the tapestry is hidden here. You must solve the puzzle of the books to find it." The owl explained that Finn needed to find 3 specific books whose spines, when placed together, would reveal the location of the last piece. Using the magical needle's guidance, Finn searched the library, finding books with symbols matching those on the tapestry. As he placed the books together, a hidden compartment in the floor opened, revealing the final piece of the tapestry. With great care, Finn stitched it to the others. The completed tapestry glowed with a brilliant light, and Finn found himself back in his village, the old woman standing before him. "Well done, Finn," she said, her voice now strong and majestic. She transformed into a beautiful sorceress. "I am Elara, guardian of the enchanted tapestry. Because of your bravery and skill, the tapestry is whole again, and its magic can once more bless the land." Elara granted Finn a wish as a reward. Finn, ever humble, wished for his village to prosper and for his friends and family to live in happiness and good health. The tapestry's magic spread across the land, bringing peace and prosperity to all. From that day forward, Finn was known as the brave little tailor who restored the enchanted tapestry. He continued to create beautiful garments, but his greatest creation was the tale of his adventure, which was told and retold for generations, inspiring courage and kindness in all who heard it. And so, in the land where the stars kissed the earth and the moon bathed the world in its gentle glow, the tale of Finn, the brave little tailor, lived on, bringing light and hope to the hearts of many. And they all lived happily ever after. In the tranquil kingdom of Luminera, nestled between emerald hills and sparkling lakes, there was a small village known for its peacefulness and harmony. The villagers lived simple lives, their days filled with laughter and joy. However, the kingdom had one mystery that intrigued everyone: the legend of the starling's gift. The legend spoke of a magical starling bird that appeared only once every century. This bird was said to possess a dazzling feather that could grant one extraordinary wish to anyone who found it. The legend had become a source of hope and dreams for the villagers, who often gathered around the old oak tree in the village square to share stories and sing songs about the elusive starling. In this village lived a young girl named Elowen, known for her kindness and adventurous spirit. Elowen was fascinated by the legend of the starling's gift and often dreamed of finding the magical bird. She believed that if she could find it, she could make a wish to bring everlasting happiness to her village. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky was painted with hues of pink and purple, Elowen noticed a bright light flickering in the distance. The light seemed to dance and shimmer like a beacon. Determined to uncover its source, she decided to follow it. Guided by the flickering light, Elowen ventured into the enchanted forest that bordered the village. The forest was known for its mystical creatures and magical flora. As she walked deeper into the woods, the air grew cooler, and the light grew brighter, illuminating the path with a soft, golden glow. After walking for what felt like hours, Elowen reached a serene clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing stood a majestic tree with silver leaves that glistened like stars. Perched on one of the branches was the starling, its feathers sparkling with an ethereal glow that illuminated the entire clearing. Eloan approached the starling with awe and respect. The bird's eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, met hers. As she stepped closer, the starling began to sing a melodious tune, filling the air with a sense of tranquility and wonder. Eloan listened to the song, feeling a deep connection with the magic of the moment. When the starling finished its song, it fluttered down gracefully and perched on Eloan's shoulder. It then gently presented her with a single, shimmering feather. Eloan's heart swelled with gratitude as she accepted the feather, knowing that her wish could soon come true. Before she left, the starling spoke in a soft, melodic voice. "The gift you seek lies not only in the wish but in the heart of the one who makes it. True magic comes from the love and selflessness with which you use it." With the feather safely tucked in her hand, Eloan made her way back to the village. The journey home seemed shorter, the forest paths illuminated by the gentle light of the starling's magic. As she arrived at the village, the villagers gathered around, their faces filled with anticipation. Eloan held up the feather and spoke. "I found the starling and received this magical feather. I wish for our village to be blessed with joy, peace, and prosperity, so that we may always live in harmony." The moment Eloan made her wish, the feather began to glow brightly, and a soft breeze carried its magic throughout the village. The air filled with a sweet fragrance, and the village was bathed in a warm, golden light. The crops flourished, the river sparkled, and the villagers felt a renewed sense of happiness and unity. The magical transformation lasted for generations, and the story of Eloan and the starling's gift became a cherished legend in Luminera. The village thrived, its people forever grateful for the kindness and bravery of one young girl who had sought to make the world a better place. And so, the legend of the starling's gift lived on, a reminder that true magic is found in the selfless heart of those who seek to spread joy and love. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a village called Lumina. Lumina was known for its beautiful lantern festival, where every year, the villagers would light lanterns and release them into the night sky, creating a breathtaking display of floating lights. The festival was said to bring good fortune and happiness, but there was one lantern that stood out among the rest, a lantern that had been passed down through generations and was believed to possess magical powers. The lantern was kept in the village's ancient tower, and only the most honorable person in the village was entrusted with its care. The lantern was not lit during the festival but was displayed as a symbol of hope and unity. However, as the years went by, the lantern's light seemed to have dimmed, and the villagers grew anxious, worried that their fortunes might be changing. One crisp autumn evening, as the festival approached, a young girl named Mira, who had just turned 12, decided to take it upon herself to restore the lantern's lost glow. Mira was known for her kind heart and adventurous spirit. She had always been fascinated by the tales of the magical lantern and believed that if anyone could rekindle its light, it would be her. Mira set out on a journey to uncover the secrets of the lantern. She visited the village elders, who told her that the lantern was enchanted by an ancient fairy named Seraphina, who lived in the Whispering Woods. The fairy had bestowed the lantern with the power to brighten the darkest of nights and bring joy to those who needed it most. However, the fairy's magic had waned over time, and the lantern's light had faded as a result. Determined to help, Mira ventured into the Whispering Woods. The forest was dense and full of mysteries, with trees that whispered secrets to those who listened closely. Mira followed a winding path marked by glimmering fireflies that seemed to guide her way. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Mira encountered various magical creatures, talking owls, playful pixies, and a wise old turtle who told her that the key to restoring the lantern's light was to find the heart of the forest, a mystical gem that held the essence of the fairy's magic. With newfound determination, Mira continued her journey. She crossed a shimmering stream, climbed a hill of soft moss, and ventured through a misty glade where the air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers. Each step brought her closer to her goal, and with each challenge she faced, her resolve grew stronger. Finally, Mira arrived at a hidden grove bathed in moonlight. At the center of the grove stood a majestic tree with branches that sparkled like diamonds. Nestled among its roots was the heart of the forest, a radiant gem that pulsed with a warm, golden light. As Mira reached out to take the gem, a soft, melodic voice spoke. It was Seraphina, the ancient fairy, appearing in a swirl of shimmering light. You have shown great bravery and kindness, young Mira. The heart of the forest is a powerful source of magic. But it must be given willingly. Why do you seek it? Mira looked into Seraphina's eyes and replied, I wish to restore the lantern's light so that our village can continue to experience the joy and unity it brings. I believe that if the lantern shines brightly again, it will inspire hope and happiness for all. Seraphina smiled, her eyes twinkling like stars. Your wish is pure and selfless. The lantern's magic was never lost, it only needed someone with a true heart to bring it back to life. With a wave of her hand, Seraphina infused the heart of the forest with her magic and gave it to Mira. Take this gem and place it within the lantern. Its light will be restored, and your village will flourish once more. Mira thanked Seraphina and made her way back to Lumina, carrying the heart of the forest with care. As she approached the village, the sky was dark, and the villagers had gathered for the festival, their faces reflecting their hopes and dreams. Mira climbed the ancient tower and carefully placed the heart of the forest inside the lantern. As soon as the gem touched the lantern, it burst into a brilliant, radiant light that illuminated the entire village. The lantern's glow was even more magnificent than before, casting a warm, golden hue over everything. The villagers cheered with delight, their faces lighting up with joy. The festival was more magical than ever, with the lantern guiding the way and filling the night sky with its enchanting light. The village of Lumina celebrated late into the night, grateful for the restoration of their beloved lantern and the hope it symbolized. From that day on, the lantern continued to shine brightly at each festival, its light a reminder of Mira's bravery and the power of selfless wishes. The village of Lumina thrived under its warm glow, and Mira grew up to be a beloved guardian of the lantern, ensuring that its magic and the spirit of unity remained alive for generations to come. Once upon a time, in a land where the seasons danced in harmony, there was a magical kingdom called Verdant Vale. Verdant Vale was unique because it experienced all 4 seasons simultaneously. Spring blossomed in the east, summer shone in the south, autumn painted the west in golden hues, and winter frosted the north. The heart of Verdant Vale was a magnificent castle where Queen Aria ruled with wisdom and kindness. The secret to the kingdom's perpetual harmony lay in the Crystal of the 4 Seasons, a magical artifact that balanced the elements of nature. The crystal was kept in the castle's highest tower, guarded by powerful enchantments. Queen Aria had a daughter named Elara, a spirited and adventurous young princess with hair as golden as the summer sun and eyes as blue as the winter sky. Elara loved exploring the kingdom and making friends with its many creatures, from the talking birds of spring to the playful foxes of autumn. One day, as Elara was playing in the garden, a dark cloud descended over Verdant Vale. The sky grew ominously dark, and the winds howled with a chilling intensity. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared. It was Malvik, a sorcerer banished from Verdant Vale long ago for his dark ambitions. Queen Aria. Malvik's voice boomed through the castle. Your reign of harmony ends today. I shall take the crystal of the 4 seasons and plunge this land into eternal darkness. Before anyone could react, Malvik cast a spell that shattered the crystal into 4 pieces, scattering them across the kingdom. Each piece was carried away by the winds to the farthest corners of Verdant Vale. The balance of the seasons was broken, and chaos ensued. Winter snowed upon summer, autumn leaves fell upon spring blossoms, and the once harmonious land was thrown into turmoil. Queen Aria, though heartbroken, remained resolute. Elara, she said, her voice steady, you are the only one who can restore balance to our kingdom. You must find the 4 pieces of the crystal and bring them back. Elara, determined to save her home, set off on her quest. She traveled first to the east, where the spring blooms were wilting under a sudden frost. There, she met a wise old hare named Thistle, who guided her to a hidden grove where the first piece of the crystal lay beneath an ancient cherry tree. Beware, princess, Thistle warned. Malvek's magic has awakened the frost golem, who guards this grove. Summoning her courage, Elara approached the grove and found the frost golem towering over the crystal shard. Using her quick wits, she tricked the golem into chasing a decoy made of snow, giving her the chance to retrieve the crystal piece. With the first piece secured, Elara journeyed south to the summer lands, now plagued by unpredictable rainstorms. In the heart of a sun-scorched desert, she encountered a fiery phoenix named Solara. The phoenix, impressed by Elara's determination, helped her locate the second piece of the crystal hidden in a cave of molten lava. To retrieve it, Elara had to cross a river of fire. Solara gifted her a feather that allowed her to walk through the flames unharmed. With the second piece in hand, she continued west to the autumn lands. There, the once vibrant forests were cloaked in fog and shadows. Elara found herself in a maze of enchanted trees, where she met an elusive stag named Orion. Orion led her to the center of the maze, where the third piece of the crystal was guarded by a mischievous spirit named Whisper. Elara engaged Whisper in a riddle contest, knowing that spirits loved games of wit. After correctly solving Whisper's riddles, she earned the third piece of the crystal. Finally, Elara traveled north to the winter lands, where blizzards now raged uncontrollably. In an ice cavern, she encountered a snow leopard named Frost. With Frost's help, Elara located the final piece of the crystal, embedded in a glacier. To free it, she had to melt the ice using the warmth of her heart. Elara remembered the love she had for her family and her kingdom. Focusing on these feelings, she held the crystal piece and, miraculously, the ice melted away. With all four pieces of the crystal, Elara returned to Verdant Vale. She climbed the castle's highest tower and placed the pieces together. The crystal glowed with a brilliant light, restoring balance to the seasons. The dark clouds parted, and Malvek's spell was broken. Queen Arya embraced Elara, her eyes filled with pride. "You have saved us all, my brave daughter." The kingdom rejoiced, and Verdant Vale once again flourished with the harmony of the four seasons. Elara's adventure became a legendary tale, reminding everyone of the power of courage, wisdom, and love. And so, under the eternal dance of the seasons, Verdant Vale thrived, and Princess Elara's bravery was celebrated for generations to come. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a serene valley surrounded by majestic mountains and lush forests, there was a village named Eldergrove. Eldergrove was a place of enchantment and mystery, known far and wide for its spectacular lantern festival. Every year, on the eve of the winter solstice, the villagers would light their lanterns and set them afloat on the river, believing they would guide their wishes to the stars. At the edge of the village lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and curiosity. Despite the beauty of Eldergrove, she often wondered about the world beyond the valley. Her grandmother had told her stories of an ancient lantern, the Lantern of Everlight, which was said to possess the power to grant one true wish to anyone who found it. Mira dreamed of discovering this lantern and using its magic to bring happiness to her village. One crisp winter evening, as the first snowflakes began to fall, Mira decided it was time to embark on a journey to find the Lantern of Everlight. She prepared a small satchel with essentials, some bread, a warm cloak, and a tiny, hand-carved wooden lantern given to her by her grandmother. With a heart full of hope, she set off into the forest. As Mira ventured deeper into the woods, she noticed the path was lined with shimmering, frost-covered trees and glowing, enchanted fireflies. The air was crisp and clear, and the stars twinkled brightly above, guiding her way. She followed the path until she came across a sparkling brook with crystal-clear water. At the brook's edge, Mira found a wise old fox with a coat that glowed like moonlight. The fox spoke with a gentle voice, "To find the Lantern of Everlight, you must first solve 3 riddles. Each riddle will bring you closer to your goal." Mira nodded eagerly, ready for the challenge. The fox began with the first riddle: "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Mira thought for a moment and answered, "A map." The fox's eyes sparkled with approval. "And it handed her a silver compass. "This will guide you on your journey," said the fox. With the compass in hand, Mira continued her journey. The path led her to a grand, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow was a shimmering scroll and the second riddle: "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle and then answered, "A joke." The scroll unfurled and revealed a path marked with glowing stones leading deeper into the forest. Following the glowing stones, Mira reached a serene, moonlit meadow. In the center of the meadow stood a beautiful, silver tree with delicate, star-shaped leaves. Beneath the tree was a small, golden chest with an intricate lock. The final riddle was written on a parchment inside the chest: "The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and answered, "Footsteps." The chest's lock clicked open, and inside, she found a small, radiant lantern with a heart-shaped gem at its center. As Mira held the lantern up, it began to glow with a warm, golden light. The lantern's light grew brighter and brighter, filling the meadow with a soothing, magical glow. Suddenly, a soft, melodious voice filled the air: "Congratulations, Mira. You have found the Lantern of Everlight. It is yours to use." Mira's heart swelled with joy. She wished for her village to be filled with happiness and prosperity. As she made her wish, the lantern's light enveloped her and began to float upward, carrying her wish to the stars. When Mira returned to Eldergrove, she was greeted with astonished faces. The village was transformed. The once dry fields were now lush and green, the river sparkled with a new, magical light, and the villagers were filled with an inexplicable joy and harmony. Mira's adventure became the stuff of legends in Eldergrove. The Lantern of Everlight was placed in a special place in the village, where it served as a symbol of hope and the magic of selfless wishes. Every winter solstice, the villagers gathered around the lantern, lighting their own lanterns and sending them afloat on the river, inspired by Mira's bravery and the enchantment of the Lantern of Everlight. And so, under the shimmering stars and the soft glow of the lanterns, Eldergrove thrived, its people forever grateful for the magic that had brightened their lives and the spirit of a young girl who believed in the power of a wish. In the heart of a lush, green valley, there lay a hidden village called Willow Glen. The village was known for its ancient willow tree, whose branches draped gracefully into a sparkling pond. This tree was said to possess magic that could grant one wish to those who proved themselves worthy. The village's guardian of the willow was a wise old woman named Elda, who knew all the secrets of the tree. One day, a young girl named Clara arrived in Willow Glen. She was on a quest to find her missing mother, who had mysteriously disappeared many moons ago. Clara had heard about the willow's magic and hoped it could help her find her mother. Elda welcomed Clara and listened to her story. The willow's magic is powerful, but to unlock it, you must complete 3 tasks that test your heart and spirit. Only then will the tree reveal the truth you seek. Determined to find her mother, Clara agreed to the tasks. Task 1: The Bridge of Courage. Clara's first task was to cross a rickety old bridge that spanned a deep chasm. The bridge was known for being unstable, with creaky wooden planks and a swift river below. As Clara approached, she noticed a small bird perched on the edge, chirping frantically. It turned out that the bird had lost its nest, which had fallen into the chasm. With great care, Clara used her courage and ingenuity. She tied vines together to create a makeshift rope and carefully descended into the chasm. There, she found the nest, gently retrieving it and climbing back up to the bridge. The grateful bird led Clara across the bridge, and as she reached the other side, the bridge steadied and became solid, allowing her to continue. Task 2: The Forest of Shadows. The second task led Clara into the Forest of Shadows, a place where darkness seemed to cling to every tree and path. The forest was said to be haunted by illusions and fears. Clara ventured in, her heart pounding as the shadows danced around her. In the midst of the forest, she encountered a giant, shadowy beast that blocked her way. Though frightened, Clara remembered the stories of her mother, who had taught her about kindness and bravery. She approached the beast and spoke softly, acknowledging its pain and fear. The beast, revealed to be a misunderstood spirit, was moved by Clara's compassion. It allowed her to pass and gave her a glowing crystal as a token of its gratitude. Task 3, the Lake of Truth. The final task was to seek the Lake of Truth, where Clara would find an answer to her quest. The lake was shrouded in mist, and its waters were still and mysterious. Clara approached the lake and gently placed the glowing crystal into the water. As the crystal touched the surface, the lake shimmered and a figure emerged, a vision of her mother, smiling warmly. Clara's heart soared with hope as her mother spoke through the mist. "I am safe, dear Clara. I chose to leave to protect you and our village from an ancient danger. The willow tree's magic has guided you here to find me, and now it is time for you to be brave and lead our people." The vision faded, and Clara felt a sense of peace and purpose. She returned to the village with the knowledge that her mother was safe and that she had been chosen to protect Willow Glen. Elda greeted Clara with pride and handed her a branch from the ancient willow tree. "You have completed the tasks with honor and bravery. The magic of the willow is now yours to protect and share." Clara embraced her new role, using the magic of the willow to bring prosperity and harmony to Willow Glen. The village flourished, and the ancient willow continued to stand tall, its magic a symbol of courage, love, and the strength found within. And so, Clara's journey became a cherished tale, passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, bravery and kindness could light the way. Once upon a time, in a hidden realm nestled between towering mountains and endless forests, there was a small kingdom called Lumina. Lumina was renowned for its enchanting beauty and for one special thing: every night, the skies would light up with 1,000 twinkling stars that seemed to form a bridge across the heavens. In this kingdom lived a kind and imaginative young girl named Lyra. Lyra loved to gaze at the starlit sky from her small cottage at the edge of the forest. She had heard stories of a legendary bridge made of stardust that connected the land to a realm of dreams. It was said that this bridge could only be seen and traversed by those with a pure heart and a true wish. One evening, as the full moon cast its silvery glow over Lumina, a sudden and mysterious darkness began to spread across the kingdom. The once brilliant stars dimmed, and the usual radiance of the starlit bridge faded away. The people of Lumina grew worried and frightened, unsure of what to do. Lyra, feeling a deep sense of urgency and compassion for her kingdom, decided that she would find out what had happened to the bridge. She knew that if the stars could be restored, the kingdom would be saved. Armed with her determination and a small pouch of provisions, Lyra set off into the forest, guided by the faint glow of the remaining stars. The forest was eerily quiet, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets in the darkness. As Lyra walked deeper into the woods, she came across a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed softly in the dim light. "Greetings, young one," said the owl. "I see you are on a quest. To find the starlit bridge, you must seek the source of light, hidden in the heart of the whispering woods. But beware, for the path is filled with challenges." Lyra thanked the owl and continued her journey. The whispering woods were known for their magical properties and mysterious enchantments. As she ventured further, she encountered 3 challenges: a river of illusions, a maze of mirrors, and a garden of shadows. The first challenge was the river of illusions. The water shimmered with 1,000 colors, creating illusions of shimmering paths that led nowhere. Lyra took a deep breath and focused on her heart's true desire, to restore the starlit bridge. With unwavering resolve, she closed her eyes and let her intuition guide her. Stepping confidently, she crossed the river and reached the other side. Next, she faced the maze of mirrors, where every turn seemed to reflect her doubts and fears. The mirrors showed her countless reflections, some appearing lost and others confident. Lyra remembered the stories of the bridge and the wishes of her people. She focused on the hope and love that she carried in her heart and chose the path that felt right. Eventually, she found her way out of the maze. The final challenge was the Garden of Shadows, where darkness seemed to swallow everything. The flowers in the garden were wilted, and the air was cold. Lyra remembered the starlit bridge and the warmth it brought. She took out a small lantern she had brought and lit it with a tiny flame. The light from the lantern began to chase away the shadows, and the garden started to come back to life, revealing a hidden path. Following the path, Lyra arrived at the heart of the Whispering Woods, where she found a crystal-clear pool reflecting the night sky. In the center of the pool was a small, glowing star suspended above the water. Lyra knew this must be the source of light. She gently reached for the star, and as her fingers touched it, the sky above began to sparkle once more. The starlit bridge reappeared in all its glory, connecting the kingdom of Lumina to the realm of dreams. The darkness that had plagued the kingdom lifted, and the stars shone brightly again. Lyra returned to Lumina, where the people greeted her with joy and gratitude. The kingdom celebrated the restoration of their beloved starlit bridge, and Lyra was hailed as a hero. The magical bridge continued to shine in the night sky, a symbol of hope and the power of a pure heart. And so, under the radiant starlight and the watchful gaze of the moon, Lumina thrived once more. Lyra's adventure became a cherished story, a reminder of the light that shines within us all and the magic that can be found when we follow our hearts. In a quaint village surrounded by lush meadows and sparkling streams, there stood an ancient oak tree known as the Whispering Oak. This majestic tree was famous for its shimmering leaves that rustled even on the stillest days, said to hold the secrets of the forest and the wisdom of the ages. The villagers often told stories about the Whispering Oak, claiming it could grant wishes to those with pure hearts and noble intentions. Many tried to find out if the tales were true, but none had ever succeeded in uncovering its magic. One day, a young boy named Finn arrived in the village. Finn was known for his kindness and curiosity. He had heard the tales of the Whispering Oak and was eager to discover if the legends were real. With his faithful dog, Bramble, by his side, he ventured into the forest to find the ancient tree. After a long walk through the forest, Finn and Bramble finally reached the Whispering Oak. The tree was even more magnificent than Finn had imagined. Its trunk was thick and gnarled, and its leaves sparkled with a golden hue. Finn approached the tree with reverence, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. He gently placed his hand on the tree's bark and whispered, "I've heard stories about your magic. I'm not here to ask for riches or fame, but to learn something that could help my village and those in need." The leaves of the Whispering Oak rustled softly, and Finn thought he heard a faint voice whispering back, "The magic you seek is not for yourself but for others. To find it, you must first prove your heart's true intentions." Suddenly, a gentle breeze swept through the forest, and Finn found himself standing before three paths, one leading to a misty valley, another to a sparkling stream, and the third to a sunlit glade. Each path seemed to hold its own promise. Finn chose the path to the misty valley, drawn by a sense of mystery. As he walked, the mist grew thicker, and he soon encountered a family of deer trapped in the fog. The deer were struggling to find their way, and Finn could see their distress. Using his wits, Finn guided the deer through the mist, calling to them gently and leading them towards the edge of the fog. Once they were safe, the deer nuzzled Finn in gratitude before disappearing into the forest. Finn continued on his journey, reaching the sparkling stream. The stream was beautiful, but it was obstructed by a tangle of fallen branches. Finn saw a family of frogs stuck on the other side, unable to reach their home. With determination, Finn carefully removed the branches and cleared a path for the frogs. They hopped across the stream, croaking their thanks as they went. Finn felt a sense of fulfillment knowing he had helped the forest creatures. The last path led to the sunlit glade, where Finn found a small, injured bird nestled in the grass. It had a broken wing and looked up at Finn with trusting eyes. Finn gently picked up the bird and fashioned a little nest from his own scarf to keep it warm. He then used his skills to mend the bird's wing as best as he could. As Finn cared for the bird, he realized that the true magic of the Whispering Oak was not in grand wishes or magical transformations but in the simple acts of kindness and compassion. The bird soon began to flutter its wings, and with a grateful chirp, it flew into the sky. Returning to the Whispering Oak, Finn felt a deep sense of peace and satisfaction. He approached the tree once more and said, "I've done my best to help those in need, just as you guided me." The whispering oak's leaves rustled softly, and Finn heard a warm, comforting voice say, "You have proven the true magic of a pure heart. The wisdom you sought lies within you. Use it to help others, and you will find that the magic you give will return to you tenfold." As Finn and Bramble left the forest, the village welcomed them with open arms. The villagers were amazed at Finn's tales of the forest and the creatures he had helped. Finn shared his experiences and the lessons he had learned, and the village soon became known for its kindness and generosity. The Whispering Oak continued to stand tall in the forest, a symbol of the magic that lives in acts of compassion and the wisdom that guides those who seek to help others. And so, the village flourished, always remembering the true magic of the Whispering Oak. Once upon a time, in the picturesque kingdom of Celestia, there was a beautiful lake known as Starry Lake. This lake was famous for its shimmering waters that sparkled like the night sky, and for the legend of the Moonflower, a mystical flower said to grant one wish to those who found it under the light of the full moon. The Moonflower was hidden somewhere in the depths of the lake and could only be seen on the night of the grand moon, when the moon was at its fullest and brightest. In a cozy cottage on the edge of Celestia lived a brave and kind-hearted girl named Elara. Elara was known for her adventurous spirit and her love of nature. Her best friend was a clever and loyal turtle named Toby, who had a knack for solving puzzles and discovering hidden paths. One evening, as the grand moon began to rise, Elara and Toby discovered an old, ornate compass buried in a bed of fallen leaves near their cottage. The compass had a glowing gem at its center and a note that read, "Starry Lake awaits. Follow the compass on the grand moon night to find the Moonflower." Eager to discover the Moonflower and make a wish, Elara and Toby set out on their journey. The path to Starry Lake was bathed in the soft, silver light of the grand moon and illuminated by the gentle glow of fireflies. As they arrived at Starry Lake, they were greeted by its magical beauty. The lake's surface sparkled like a blanket of stars, and the night air was filled with the soothing sounds of nature. However, the path to the Moonflower was guarded by 3 enchanting challenges. The first challenge was the Misty Marsh. This was a foggy, enchanted marsh where the mist concealed hidden dangers. To navigate through, they needed to answer a riddle posed by the marsh's guardian, a wise old owl perched on a branch. "I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I?" Elara thought deeply and then answered, "A keyboard." The owl hooted in approval, and the fog began to clear, revealing a safe path through the marsh. Next, they reached the Bridge of Stars, a delicate bridge made of shimmering stardust that spanned across a wide part of the lake. The bridge seemed to shift and change as they approached. To cross, they needed to arrange the stars in the correct order based on a constellation pattern. Toby's sharp eyes helped them identify the correct pattern, and Elara carefully arranged the stars. The bridge stabilized, glowing warmly as they crossed to the other side. Finally, they faced the Cave of Echoes. This cave was lined with sparkling crystals that reflected and echoed sounds. To find the way to the Moonflower, they needed to listen carefully and follow the echoes of a lullaby sung by the cave's guardian, a gentle spirit. Elara and Toby listened attentively to the soothing lullaby, using the echoes to guide them through the winding passages of the cave. After navigating the twists and turns, they emerged into a serene, moonlit chamber. At the center of the chamber, floating gracefully above the surface of a crystal-clear pool, was the Moonflower. Its petals glowed with a soft, silvery light, and its beauty was breathtaking. To make their wish, Elara needed to speak her wish aloud with sincerity. Elara approached the Moonflower and spoke from her heart, "I wish for the well-being and happiness of everyone in Celestia. I want to see our kingdom flourish and live in harmony." As Elara's wish was spoken, the Moonflower's light expanded, and a gentle, magical glow spread throughout Starry Lake and beyond. The light of the grand moon seemed to shine even brighter, and the magic of the Moonflower touched every corner of Celestia, bringing joy and prosperity to all who lived there. When Elara and Toby returned to their village, they found it transformed. The fields were vibrant with crops, the animals were lively in content, and the people were filled with a profound sense of peace and happiness. The story of Alara and Toby's adventure in the magic of the Moonflower became a cherished tale in Celestia, reminding everyone of the power of kindness, courage, and the magic that can be found in their hearts. And so, Starry Lake remained a place of wonder and enchantment, where dreams and wishes came to life under the light of the grand moon. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a misty forest, there was a quaint village named Luminera. The village was known for its vibrant gardens and shimmering streams, but it had one unique treasure, a magical lantern that was said to light the way for anyone who was lost or in need. The lantern was housed in the village's oldest cottage, which belonged to an elderly woman named Grandma Esme. She was known throughout the land for her kindness and wisdom. The lantern was a family heirloom, passed down through generations, and its soft, golden glow was believed to have the power to reveal hidden truths and guide people through their darkest hours. One day, the village was visited by a young prince named Leo from the neighboring kingdom of Eldoria. He had heard tales of the enchanted lantern and was intrigued by its magic. The prince was on a quest to find a rare and precious flower known as the moon blossom, which only bloomed once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. The moon blossom had the power to cure his kingdom's ailing land. Grandma Esme welcomed Prince Leo warmly and listened to his tale. "The moon blossom is indeed a rare flower," she said, "and its blooming is a sight to behold. However, finding it requires more than just luck. It requires a heart that is pure and intentions that are true." The prince, determined to help his kingdom, asked Grandma Esme if she would lend him the enchanted lantern to aid in his quest. She agreed, but only if Leo promised to return it once his mission was complete, for the lantern held great significance to her family. With the lantern in hand, Prince Leo set out into the forest under the light of the full moon. The lantern's warm glow guided his path through the tangled woods and winding streams. As he ventured deeper, he encountered various challenges: swift rivers, steep cliffs, and dense thickets. Yet, the lantern's light always found a way to show him the safest path forward. During his journey, Leo came across a small, mysterious creature, a talking fox named Finn. Finn had a coat of shimmering silver and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. "Why are you traveling so far into the forest?" Finn asked. "I am searching for the moon blossom," Prince Leo explained. "It is said to bloom only under the full moon, and I need it to save my kingdom." Finn's eyes widened with understanding. "I know where the moon blossom blooms, but it's a dangerous path. The lantern's light will help you, but you must also have a brave heart and a clear mind." Grateful for Finn's help, Leo followed him through the forest. The two of them faced many trials, from crossing rickety bridges to outsmarting mischievous sprites. With the lantern's guidance and Finn's assistance, they finally reached a secluded glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade was a majestic flower, the moon blossom. Its petals glowed with an ethereal light, and its fragrance filled the air with a sense of peace and hope. Prince Leo carefully collected the moon blossom and thanked Finn for his guidance. As he turned to leave, he noticed that the lantern's light was growing dim. The enchantment that had guided him was fading, and the path back seemed uncertain. Leo realized that he needed to return the lantern to Grandma Esme, as promised. With the moon blossom secured, Leo made his way back to the village. The journey was still challenging, but the memories of his adventure and his commitment to his kingdom's welfare kept him steady. Upon returning the lantern to Grandma Esme, he presented her with the moon blossom. "You have fulfilled your promise," Grandma Esme said, smiling. "And you have shown great courage and purity of heart. The lantern will continue to guide those in need, and the moon blossom will heal your kingdom." Prince Leo returned to Eldoria, where the moon blossom was used to restore the land to its former glory. His kingdom thrived once more, and he was celebrated as a hero. He often thought fondly of the enchanted lantern in the village of Luminera, where his journey had begun. The lantern remained in Grandma Esme's cottage, its light still shining brightly for those who sought guidance. The story of Prince Leo and the enchanted lantern became a beloved legend in Luminera, reminding everyone of the power of bravery, kindness, and the magic of a guiding light. And so, the village of Luminera continued to glow with the light of hope and adventure, ever ready to illuminate the path for those who ventured into the forest in search of their own dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom called Harmonia, there was a charming village named Melody Springs. Known for its beautiful music and skilled musicians, Melody Springs was a place where harmony reigned supreme. Among its residents was a young girl named Lila, who had a voice so enchanting that it could make the flowers bloom and the birds sing along. Lila lived with her parents in a cozy cottage on the edge of the village. Her mother was a renowned harpist, and her father was a master violinist. They often played together, filling their home with the sweetest melodies. Lila loved singing along, and her dream was to find the legendary enchanted harp, a magical instrument said to produce music so beautiful it could heal any ailment and bring peace to troubled hearts. One fateful day, a terrible storm struck the village, bringing sickness and despair. The once cheerful tunes of Melody Springs were replaced by the sounds of coughing and crying. Lila's parents fell ill, and despite her best efforts to care for them, they grew weaker each day. Desperate to save her parents and restore joy to her village, Lila decided to search for the enchanted harp. The legend of the enchanted harp told of its resting place deep within the Whispering Woods, guarded by mythical creatures and protected by powerful spells. With a heart full of determination and a small bag of provisions, Lila set off on her quest at dawn. As she entered the Whispering Woods, the trees seemed to whisper secrets and warnings. The path was unclear, and the shadows played tricks on her eyes. Suddenly, a majestic stag with antlers like silver branches appeared before her. "Why do you venture into these woods, young one?" the stag asked. "I seek the enchanted harp to heal my parents and bring happiness back to my village," Lila replied. The stag looked at her with gentle eyes. "Your intentions are noble. I will guide you to the Forest of Echoes, where the guardian of the harp resides. But beware, the path is fraught with challenges that will test your heart." Grateful for the stag's help, Lila followed him through the dense forest. They crossed sparkling streams and climbed rocky hills, and as they walked, the stag told Lila stories of the forest and its magic. After a long journey, they arrived at the Forest of Echoes, a mystical place where every sound seemed to linger and repeat. In the center of the forest stood a grand tree with golden leaves, and at its base lay the enchanted harp, glowing softly with an ethereal light. But between Lila and the harp was a fierce griffin, its wings spread wide and its eyes blazing. "Who dares to approach the enchanted harp?" the griffin roared. "It is I, Lila of Melody Springs," she said, stepping forward bravely. "I seek the harp to heal my parents and my village." The griffin studied her for a moment. "The harp is not for the faint of heart. To claim it, you must prove your worth by completing 3 tasks." Lila nodded, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. "First," the griffin said, "you must find the melody stone hidden within this forest. It emits a tune that only the pure of heart can hear." Lila closed her eyes and listened intently to the sounds around her. Focusing on her love for her parents and her village, she followed a faint, beautiful melody. After a long search, she found the melody stone beneath a bed of moss, its tune growing louder as she approached. The griffin nodded in approval. "Second, you must mend the broken lyre. It has been shattered for centuries, and only the hands of the kind-hearted can restore it." Lila gathered the pieces of the broken lyre scattered around the forest and began to piece them together. She sang softly as she worked, her voice guiding her hands. Slowly, the lyre came together, whole and beautiful once more. Finally, the griffin said, "You must sing a song that touches my heart, proving your intentions are true." Lila took a deep breath and began to sing a lullaby her mother used to sing to her. Her voice filled the forest, and even the trees seemed to lean in to listen. As she sang, the griffin's fierce expression softened, and tears glistened in its eyes. "You have proven yourself worthy, Lila," the griffin said. "The enchanted harp is yours." With reverence, Lila approached the harp and gently strummed its strings. A melody more beautiful than anything she had ever heard filled the air. She felt the harp's magic flow through her, and she knew it would heal her parents and bring joy back to Melody Springs. The stag led Lila safely back to her village, where she played the enchanted harp for her parents and the villagers. The harp's magic worked wonders, curing the sick and lifting everyone's spirits. Melody Springs was filled with music and laughter once more. Lila's parents embraced her, their eyes filled with pride and gratitude. "You have brought hope and happiness back to our lives, my brave daughter," her mother said. From that day on, Lila continued to play the enchanted harp, using its magic to help those in need. Her story spread far and wide, inspiring others to believe in the power of love, music, and courage. And so, the kingdom of Harmonia thrived, forever grateful to the brave girl who brought the magic of the enchanted harp into their lives. The end. Once upon a time, in a far-off land where the skies were always painted in hues of gold and purple, there was a quaint village named Lumina. Lumina was a place of beauty and wonder, but it had one particular secret that made it extraordinary. Every night, its skies were filled with floating lanterns that drifted like stars, casting a magical glow over the village. The lanterns were not ordinary, they were enchanted and held the light of the ancient moonstone, a powerful gem hidden deep within the whispering forest. It was said that the moonstone had the power to keep the lanterns aglow, filling the village with tranquility and dreams. In Lumina lived a brave and kind-hearted girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her curiosity and love of adventures. She often spent her evenings gazing up at the lanterns, dreaming of the day she might see one up close. However, lately, the lanterns had started to flicker and dim, and the village was becoming worried. One evening, as the lanterns dimmed more than ever before, Ilara decided that it was time to discover what was wrong and restore their light. Armed with a lantern of her own, a small pouch of provisions, and her loyal dog, Rusty, Ilara set out for the Whispering Forest. The forest was known for its ancient trees that seemed to whisper secrets in the wind. As Ilara and Rusty ventured deeper into the woods, the path grew darker and more tangled. The trees were so dense that the moonlight barely penetrated. Suddenly, they came across a shimmering stream. Its water sparkled under the moonlight, and the stream was guarded by a wise old frog named Bramble. "Greetings, young traveler," said Bramble. "To pass, you must solve my riddle. The moonstone's light fades, and you seek to restore it. Answer this correctly, and I shall guide you." Ilara nodded, ready for the challenge. Bramble continued, "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Ilara thought hard, her gaze fixed on the rippling water. "A map," she answered confidently. Bramble smiled and leaped aside, revealing a hidden path that wound through the forest. "You are correct. Follow this path to find the moonstone." Thanking Bramble, Ilara and Rusty continued along the path. It led them to a large clearing bathed in soft moonlight. In the center of the clearing was a grand, ancient oak tree. At its base was a small, ornate door, half hidden by vines. Ilara pushed the door open and found herself in a magical underground chamber. The chamber was filled with crystals that cast colorful lights across the walls. At the center of the chamber was the moonstone, but it was dim and surrounded by a swirling mist. As Ilara approached, the mist grew thicker and the chamber colder. She knew she had to act quickly. Remembering the stories she had heard, Ilara took out her lantern and held it up to the moonstone. The lantern's light touched the moonstone, and a soft, warm glow began to emanate from it. The mist started to dissipate, and the moonstone's light grew stronger and more vibrant. But the light needed one final boost. Rusty, who had been quietly sitting beside her, began to bark excitedly. Ilara noticed that Rusty was pointing at a small pedestal where an ancient book lay. She opened the book and found a page that described a special incantation to strengthen the moonstone's power. Ilara read the incantation aloud, and as she did, the moonstone's light blazed brighter, casting a warm and inviting glow throughout the chamber. The mist vanished completely, and the moonstone was once again radiant. With the moonstone's power restored, Ilara and Rusty made their way back to Lumina. As they emerged from the forest, the lanterns in the sky began to glow brightly once more, casting their enchanting light over the village. The villagers rejoiced at the return of the lantern's brilliance. They gathered around Alara, cheering and celebrating her bravery and determination. The village of Lumina was filled with happiness and gratitude, and the lanterns continued to shine with their magical glow every night. Alara's adventure became a cherished tale in Lumina, a reminder of the courage it takes to face challenges and the magic that lies in the heart of those who seek to make the world a better place. The lanterns, guided by the light of the restored moonstone, remained a symbol of hope and wonder for generations to come. Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush and verdant kingdom called Harmony, there was a small village named Everwood. This village was renowned for its enchanting melodies that seemed to float through the air, weaving through the trees and over the hills. These melodies were created by a magical harp, known as the heartstring harp, which was said to possess the power to heal hearts and bring peace to all who heard it. The harp was guarded by an elderly woman named Mirabelle, who lived in a cozy cottage at the edge of the enchanted forest. Mirabelle was a kind and wise guardian, entrusted with keeping the harp safe and ensuring its melodies continued to fill the kingdom with joy. However, a dark shadow loomed over the land, threatening to silence the harp forever. The once beautiful forest was beginning to wither, and the villagers grew anxious as the melodies grew fainter. One day, a young girl named Lila, known for her bravery and love of music, decided to take matters into her own hands. Lila had always admired Mirabelle and the magical harp, and she knew that if the heartstring harp's music faded completely, the kingdom would lose its magic forever. Determined to save the harp, she approached Mirabelle with a plan. The quest for the lost notes. Mirabelle listened to Lila's heartfelt plea and agreed to help. To restore the magic of the heartstring harp, Mirabelle explained, "You must find the 3 lost notes scattered throughout the enchanted forest. Each note holds a piece of the harp's magic and will restore its power when brought together." Lila set out on her quest, guided by the shimmering light of the lantern that Mirabelle had given her. Her first challenge took her to the Whispering Glade, where the first lost note was hidden. The Whispering Glade. The Whispering Glade was known for its gentle, whispering winds and shimmering, luminescent flowers. As Lila entered the glade, she was greeted by a mischievous sprite named Puck, who guarded the first lost note. Puck challenged Lila to a game of riddles. "To find the lost note, you must solve my riddle," he said with a twinkle in his eye. "What is something that grows, but never lives, and brings joy, though it has no hands?" Lila thought carefully and answered, "A song." Puck smiled and handed her the first lost note, a delicate piece of parchment that glowed with a soft, golden light. With the note secured, Lila continued her journey. The Glistening Falls. Lila's next destination was the Glistening Falls, a waterfall with waters that sparkled like diamonds under the sun. Here, the second lost note was hidden behind the cascading waters. The falls were guarded by a wise old turtle named Tiberius, who had lived by the waterfall for centuries. Tiberius challenged Lila to show her kindness by helping a small fish stuck in a net. Without hesitation, Lila freed the fish, and Tiberius, impressed by her compassion, revealed the second lost note. The note was wrapped in a shimmering cloth and pulsed with a soothing, blue light. With 2 notes in her possession, Lila pressed on toward her final challenge. The Celestial Grove. The final lost note was hidden in the Celestial Grove, a serene and magical forest known for its starry, glowing trees. Here, Lila met a majestic, silver stag named Orion, who watched over the grove. Orion's challenge was to demonstrate true courage. A dense fog had enveloped the grove, causing the magical trees to lose their light. Lila needed to navigate through the fog and restore the grove's light. She ventured bravely into the fog, using her lantern to guide her way. Her courage and determination helped her reach the heart of the grove, where she found the third lost note, glowing with a radiant, white light. The return to Everwood. With all 3 lost notes in hand, Lila returned to Mirabelle's cottage. The village was shrouded in a somber silence, and the once vibrant forest had become gray and lifeless. Mirabelle awaited Lila with hope in her eyes. Lila handed the notes to Mirabelle, who carefully placed them into the heartstring harp. As each note was added, the harp began to glow with renewed energy. Mirabelle played a gentle melody, and the magic of the harp spread throughout the village. The Restoration. the forest began to revive, with vibrant colors returning to the trees and flowers. The melodies of the heartstring harp filled the air once more, bringing joy and peace to the villagers. The harp's music resonated through harmony, lifting the spirits of all who heard it. Lila's bravery and kindness had restored the magic of the heartstring harp and saved the kingdom from despair. She was celebrated as a hero in Everwood, and the story of her quest was told for generations to come. The enchanted forest thrived again, and the heartstring harp continued to weave its beautiful melodies, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and the magic that lies within every heart.